All right, y'all ain't gonna believe this crap. I got 2 rods out. I went to throw the Mad Cat's rod out, yellow and Lisa, and I backlashed the crap out of it. It's got a bird nest from all crap. And so I just stuck it in the rod holder. It's got bait on it. And I'm setting up the other rods. Well, Lisa's getting a bite with that backlash on there. If I catch fish on that, that's going to be interesting. I'll have to run up the bank, pull him in. I can't reel it in. It's backlash. Let's go ahead and get the other rod set out. And then we'll either take that bait away from that fish and fix that rod, or we'll catch the daggum thing. We'll see. I gotta run truck, grab some weights. Be right back. I gotta go truck, grab some weights. I gotta re-rig this whole rod. I broke off that whole entire rig on that last spot we was at. No, if you guys missed it, let me see all's in here. Do, 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 do. We've got, holy crap, where did y'all all come from? Fishing Mid-South, Mike Snow, what's up, brother? Murillo Family Fishing, hello. Joe Ziegler, what's up, brother? I got both the rods out with the Joe Ziegler reels on them. Yeah, I'm going to tell y'all what I did here in just a minute. Let me say hi to everybody. Warren Farley, hello, buddy. Dave Garcher, fishing from the boat. Yeah. Hey, man, I've been talking about that guy and talking about that guy. If you guys ain't checked out Fishing from the Boat, check him out. I'm telling you, you're not going to regret it. I hope someday we can set up a live stream, me and him fish together. I'm pretty good at the. I mean, I give everybody benefit of a doubt. That being said, I'm pretty good at judging people from first impressions, and I hope he don't prove me wrong. But my first impression of that guy fishing from the boat, I like him. He's good people. Y'all check him out. If you find out he ain't, let me know. But right now, I'm telling you, I'll vouch for him until he gives me a reason not to. I'm saying he's a good guy. I like his channel. I sure do. Definitely interesting. Okay, where was I? Oh, fishing from the boat. Sorry about that. I get distracted so easy, you guys. Dave Garcho said, "Look, lady, hello. Real time catfishing, man. I tell you what, I need me some John Parker help because let me tell you what I did right off the bat, you guys. As soon as I got here, now here's a scenario. That first rod, my yellow mad catch rod, also known as Lisa, I did something bad. I threw it out there and I backlashed that real bad. It's the worst bird nest I've ever seen. It's got a big chunk of bait on it. Okay. Well, I said, you know what? I'm gonna stick it in the rod holder. I'm gonna get the live going. I'm gonna get these other rods out, and then I'll get back to it. That rod's already been hit 3 times with that backlash on it. If I catch fish on there, I'm gonna need to do some John Parker stuff. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna have to pull out the professional catfish angling tricks because I ain't never tried to pull a catfish in on a backlash for reel. Y'all may get to see me try to do that. I may have to handline that cotton picket thing. I'm hoping I get this last rod rigged up and out there. And if I do, I'm going to go ahead and just pull that away from him. I don't want him getting hooked on that backlash reel. And I'll have to do some cutting because there's no way I'm untangling that mess. I'm going to have to cut that out because it's bad. It's bad, y'all. It's real bad. Anybody else in here? Did I make it to the bottom? How come you see? I'm talking more about backlash. I don't backlash that often, big boy. I just happened to do it today. I was in a rush, man. I was over there spot fishing, and I told you guys I'd get set up as fast as I could, and I was rushing, and I slung that thing, and I thought I hit the tree limb above my head, and I did something wonky, and next thing I know, it said all up in the reel. I'm like, well, crap. Oh, that eagle was sitting in the tree and he flew. I just scared my good luck eagle away. Dadgummit. Come back, brother eagle. Don't run off and leave me now. All right, you guys just hang tight. Let me get this. Shirley T, how you doing, sis? Fishing and cooking with Mike Chavez. What's up, my brother? There it goes, guys. The Mad Cat's rod with the backlash just got hit again. Uh-oh, there goes the Uncle Lou orange rod. I'm thinking we're in a pile of baby channel cats. We're getting bit on that one. They always bite when I'm tying knots. Isn't that the way? Let's see what happens. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I hope I don't catch a fish on that backlash reel until I get it fixed. I really do. Oh, there goes the J-Dog rod. Well, I'm getting all kinds of bites here. But I can assure you, it's a bunch of little channel cats. Well, you know what? I'd place my bets on that. There are some big blues in here. But there's so many dadgum little channel cats that 9 times out of 10, you can't get past them to get to the blue cats. They find your bait before the blue cat does. We're just going to nonchalantly tie this rig up while we're watching. Maybe we'll get on fish here in a minute. Yeah, I count to myself while I'm tying my knots so I'll lose track of where I'm at. It don't come natural to me. Not like it does to John Parker. He ties knots and talks to you while he's doing it and don't even think about it. I'm not that good, y'all. I hope to be someday. But as I get older and things get harder, I just don't imagine it getting better. I imagine it getting worse. It's going to get worse on me. It surely is. And I laid all my hooks on the ground over there. I got to go over there and pick them up. Crap. Put all them hooks on the ground because I was digging in there looking for something. Where was I? Oh, yeah. All right. Well, let's go with the. You know what? We're getting a lot of channel cat hits, so I'm going to downsize this purple Uncle Lou rod. I've got 9 and 10-aught triple city hooks on all those rods there. I've got the Goober Time hooks, and I've got the Ernie the Hog Snatcher Catfish Nugget hooks on there. But we're going to downsize this Uncle Lou rod to an 8-aught and see if we can't throw a kink in these channel cats that's messing with us. See if we can't throw a kink in their plan to steal our bait. They'll grab this hook here and they'll be sorry. But that's the only one we're going to downsize on. The rest of them, we're going to leave them big. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Oh, man. We'll have this Uncle Lou rod rigged up here in a minute, and then we're going to have to pull that dadgum. We're going to have to hand line that Mad Cat's rod in and get the bait and the hook and rig back and then cut all that crap out there and retie that. It's not going to be fun, y'all. It's not going to be fun at all. But we'll make it happen. We'll do the best we can do. In the meantime, we got 5 rods out. We even got the old J-Dog rod out. We broke him out today. I wanted to get that J-Dog rod out and get some exercise because when I fish the Sabotage tournament, the J-Dog rod will be in play. The J-Dog rod is actually going to step up and take Black Betty's spot that night, I think. We're not sure. Because on the Sabotage tournament, here's the thing. You know it and I know it. We're not stupid. If I try to fish with Black Betty during the Sabotage tournament, I'm going to paint a big bullseye on my back. That's what I'm going to do. Because everybody's going to be coming after Black Betty. So, my thought and my process of thinking on this is to catch them at just cut them off short at the knees at their own game. You know what I'm saying? they're all going to come after Black Betty. So we'll just take Black Betty off the board and see how they like that. Huh? What do you think about that? That's just an idea that I'm fiddle farting around with. It ain't 100% that's going to happen. But right now, I'm thinking about putting Black Betty in the back of the truck and pulling the J-Dog rod out. Well, I can tell you right now, J-Dog rod's going to be in that tournament. It's going to be in the sabotage tournament. That's all there is to it. I mean, you can't have a tournament that's hosted by Cody from 3+1 Outdoors and the man himself, Mr. J-Dog. You can't have J-Dog host a tournament and have a J-Dog rod and not fish with it. You can't do it. It's just, what is it? It's rude. So J-Dog's going to be helping me out in that, whether he likes it or not. Simple as that. He just don't know it yet. Man, I hate putting all these little bitty sinkers on here and fishing, because I just have to take them off later. But I'm fishing this backwater, and I just don't need that big heavy weight on there. So we're going to go with about 3-ounce or 4-ounce weights instead of bumping up to the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10s. Or the 5, 6, 8s, and 10s. And I do got a 14. Lord, I'm telling you right now, that fish is still biting on that backlash reel. If he gets on there and it's a monster, it's just going to be it's going to be devastating. I should have pulled that out of the water. But you know me, it sounded like something that might be interesting if it happened. So we just roll with it. We're going to get this rod rigged up. We'll get it out there, and then we'll pull that bait away from that fish, and we'll fix that reel up. I should have known better than to throw upwards. That tree limb was right above my head, and what happened was when I threw it, the sinker bounced off of a limb, and it still went out there. But when that sinker hit that limb, it bird nested the crap out of that rod, of that reel. When that sinker hit that tree limb, that was all she wrote. It was bye-bye, Sally, to go to the races. All right, let's put a 3-ounce weight on this. We don't need nothing heavy. Ow, that hook sharp. All right, we're going to go with a lightweight on this. Let's see if them channel cats get on there. We'll see. We shall see. Boy, it's hot today. Uh-oh. Tap on the Mad Cat's the blue one. You don't want to mess with that one, son. It ain't backlash. You're going to get yourself caught. There goes J-Dog. That's a lot of channel cats, you guys. They're pecking. They're pecking. And I got big baits on those. So they're just grabbing the bait and pulling on it. That's what they're doing. All right, we got this one rigged up. Let's get some bait on it and get it out there. Smaller hook, we're going with an 8-aught. And I think we're still going to put a decent sized chunk of skipjack on there. There we go. Let's run that route right there. That looks good. Let's get it out there. All right, let's try to fix that cotton picking back up. I'm gonna try to pick this backlash out of here, but I guarantee I'm gonna wind up cutting because this is a freaking bloody mess. Look at this. Y'all see that? Man, I ain't done that like that in forever. That's insane. What in the world? Yeah, I ain't getting that out of me. That just ain't happening. Stupid tree limb. I just don't see me getting that untangled. I don't see it happening at all. That's a mess, y'all. Get the scissors out. Time to do some cutting. I just hope I can hand line that hook and that sinker back in here. It's out there about 30 yards, 40 yards maybe. Let me see if I can kick that out. I don't think I can. I need a pick. I need to start carrying a pick with me to pick that stuff. Yeah, I'm fixing to cut this. Well, first off, let's get our hook back. That's a fiddle farting mess right there. I'm sick to cut all this crap off here. And yes, I will wad all this line up and take it with me. I'm not one of them people. First thing, let's get our rig off here. That's hung up. We got 5 rods working though, so but this is my dadgum money rod sitting here on the bank. I can't have my money rod sitting on the bank. I gotta get this thing going. My money rod. Let's just get to cutting. Just like that. Oh Lord, where's the end of this? That's like giving a poodle a haircut. It's ridiculous. I'm gonna lose half my line doing this. What in the world? Let's cut some more. Uh-oh. Getting tapped on that Mad Cat's rod over there. Now I can't find the end of this crap. What a mess. Good Lord. Man. Yeah, it's like giving a poodle a haircut. I gotta pick all this crap up too. Just cut it out of there, baby. Just cut it. Just give it a good clipping. And there's where it's hung up at right there. If I can get that knot cut, it'll be just fine. Man, I ain't had to do this in a long time to get a backlash out like that. In a long time. Uh-oh. Man, he hit that rod hard. Hold on, y'all. Hang on, hang on. Is he gonna get it? Is he gonna get it? He's steady pecking on it. Hang on now. Come here, you good fart. This gonna be a little channel cat, I guarantee it. Oh no, it ain't. John Parker, that gum your hide. This is some John Parker bullcrap right here. That's some John Parker bull crap. He just had to come in here. That hook came out of his mouth as soon as he hit that net. Dadgummit. It's going to be one of them days, y'all. He got that hook all in that net. There. I ain't touching that dang thing. Dadgummit. This, I'm telling you, 100%, it's because John Parker come in here and he put it on me. Man, this thing will bite the crap out of you. Come on, man. Don't you do it. Let me get a hold of your lip. And I'll turn you loose. Hang on now. Don't you bite my leg. Don't do it. Let me get them fish grips on you. Oh, you're mine now, son. Oh. John freaking Parker fish. Look at that. Dadgum big old bowfin. He's biting them fish grips. You hear crunch? That's what he'll do to your finger. Look at that cotton picking thing. You know, just for giggles, let's get a weight on him. What do you say? Let's get a weight on him just for the fun of it. I knew as soon as John Parker come in here, something like that was going to happen. I just knew it. Backlash my money rod. John Parker comes in here, and we catch a bowfin that weighs 6.68 pounds, 6.68 on that big old bowfin right there. Hey-ya, John Parker fish right there for you. Go away. Don't come back neither. You're not welcome here. Do not come back. I don't want you. They ain't got no use for you. Just go away. Leave me alone. Stupid bowfin. 100%. I guarantee you. If John Parker hadn't showed up, you would not have seen that fish today. You wouldn't have seen it. And they're biting in muddy water. Can you believe that? Sacrifice one to the fish gods. Bait up again. Oh, I could just hear the talk going on in chat right now. I'm sure y'all are having a field day with that. Just having you a good old time, aren't you? Let me. See what I got to deal with? Backlash rods. John Parker coming in here throwing bowfins on me. Grinnells, shoe pick, cypress bass, dogfish. Whatever you want to call it. I hate them. Call it what you want. Can't stand them dadgum things. But they are fun to catch. Because they fight like a Dickens, boy. I'll tell you what. They don't play. But they will bite the dog snot out of you, too. I'm telling you right now. You don't want one getting hold of your finger. Because they'll be calling you Lefty McGee. Or No Pointer Pete. We just about got this cut out of here, I think. Let me see. Where'd that go? Well, there's a tangled up mess. Come on now. Get out of there. I am making a pile of line right at my feet, and yes, I will pick it up, you guys. I've cut it off into pieces about 3 inches long, though. I just got to get it worked out here. Let's turn that clicker on so it don't. God, I'm going to lose half my daggum line doing that. I think. Maybe. What in the world? I think I just about got it clear, y'all. There we go. We didn't lose a whole lot, but we got it out of there. We got it out of there. We're all right. We're doing just fine. That long piece of line there, I got to get a hold of it and get it out of here. Get it all watered up. Get all this piled up at my feet here. Because this is our money rod. We got to get our money rod back out there. Got to have it out there. Got to have Lisa out there. Can't have her sitting on the bank. Uh-oh, there goes the orange Uncle Lou rod. Probably another freaking bowfin. Well, John, I'm just kidding. I don't want you leaving. You stay in here. If you know what, if I have to catch bowfin the rest of the day today, just to enjoy the company of a great man like John Parker, then Danny Stone's going to catch bowfin for the rest of the day. That's just how it is. I'm going to flip that knot off there too. Just go ahead and nip it in the bud. Just be done with it. All right, we got all that cleared out of there now. Now it's got to line the guides and such. Okay. We'll get this rod out and I'll pick up all that line I got laying on the ground there and I'll put it in that bucket over there. So, and I'll let you guys see me do it so you know I'm not littering. That's a pretty nice bowfin though. He sure didn't fight very hard though until he got right up there to the bank. I mean, I really mean I thought it was just a little bit dank channel cat. But boy, when I pulled his head out of that water, he didn't like it too much. He said, "No, sir. No, sir. I don't belong up here." He said, "You got me confused with somebody else." Boy, that fish come out the water, whatever it was. Looked like a skipjack skipping the jacking. I wonder if that's why they call them skipjack, because they're just jacking around skipping. Don't know. Do you know? What did he say? I was supposed to look see what y'all said. I got to get this rod back out there. I got 2 rods that are my money rods, and I got to get one of them sitting on the bank. I can't have that. I got to get my money rod out there. That gum. Can't have that. Got to have Lisa out there. Oh, Lord. Well, I'll tell you what, John, you know, I sympathize with you. I know the physical strain that you go through every day, and something that's been getting me more and more lately. It's getting harder and harder to hold on this little line and thread these little things. Is my freaking arthritis. My God, my hands. Every time I try to do something real, uh, when I have to use my fingers a lot and bend them and hold, they start cramping like you got cramps in them. It's just that cotton picking arthritis eating me up. That stuff is not funny, y'all. That hurts like the dickens. You know, I lost probably, I'm going to say 50 yards of line off of that. I'm going to re-spool that when I get home. It's still probably got 200 yards of line on it, but I like a full spool. You know what I'm saying? Full spool. What I do with that hook while ago? There it is. We're almost done, y'all. I'm going to have 6 rods in the water, and then I'll spend a little time chitty-chatting with you. Right now, I got to get our mess untangled here. Merry-go-round and around and around. Keep going, son. Keep going. Get out there. Yeah, come on, get right. Because this ain't one of my good swivels. This is one of the crappy ones. It don't spin around like I want it to. We're almost done, y'all. Just bear with me. And we'll get to you. We'll get to you shortly. And I still got to pick up this line. That's priority. We got to get that done. We almost got all our rods back out. Listen here, I'm throwing out there in the big blue territory, though. I'm going to try to get on big blue cat with it. Oh, there we go. Let's get our bait redone here. I think I'm going to change it. Man, something ate that up. Something took a bite out of it while it was laying out there a while ago. It's pretty tore up. I don't know if I can rehook that or not. I'm gonna reuse it. I probably shouldn't, but I'm going to. I'm real conservative with my bait, you guys. I'm stingy with it. I don't, everybody's talking about what is that on there. Oh, turn that clicker off. We don't need it. Let's see if we can throw it out without backlashing this time. God willing, maybe we can do it. Let's get the money rod out there and watch that tree limb right there. We got her that time. Six rods in the water. Let's clean up our mess. Let's get all this line picked up here. Got a couple handfuls right here we got to grab up. There we go. Got it all. We'll put that in our little bucket. It's in our bucket. Now we're back to fishing and hanging out with the good people like you. I don't know what happened with that orange Uncle Lou rod a while ago. It had a bite. What all did I miss? Laughing Cats Thomas. Hello, NJ Fisherman. What's going on? And I already said hi to Joe Ziegler, but I'll say it again. Oh, Lord. Well, I missed some good stuff, didn't I? Yes, it is. Okay, I sure will. Let me drop the link up there for you. And anybody else that wants to come up. Thanks, Thomas. Invite guest. Copy. More. Post comment. Boy, Thomas, I'd appreciate that. Doggone it. That ain't what I wanted to do. Paste. Did I get it? Yeah. Did I get it in there? There you go. I'm trying to get this rod or light right here. I gotta get the camera adjusted where you guys could see that. Man, I didn't even have that on them rods a while ago, did I? I don't even know if y'all even got to see me catch that bowfin. Dadgummit. I might have had it wrong. There he is. Look at him popping up in the basement quicker than a cat. Add the stream. What's going on, my brother?
Hey, not a lot, Danny. Go ahead and change that to where you're on full screen. I don't need to be on there.
All right, got it. There we go. Man, I've been having a heck of a day. First, I tried to fish the river, and there's enough trees down there to build a whole town. Then come over here, and this is chocolate pudding water I'm fishing in. And I start getting bites, and I think it's going to be all right. Then John Parker showed up, and the bowfin came with him. He brings
well, you know, John Parker's going to bring bad things when he comes in.
Well, if he's just going to throw big giant bowfin at me, I can handle that. I mean, I'd rather not catch them, but I'd rather catch them than nothing.
Yeah. San Diego Astro Rods came in. He's looking.
Nice.
Homestead Aquarius said, we saw the bowfin.
Saw the bowfin. Okay. Boy, he was splashing and putting up a fight right there at the last minute. When I was reeling him in, he was just coming in like a puppy on a leash. Wasn't fighting at all. And I thought, man, maybe it's a 2-pound channel cat, 1 pound. And his head come out that water, and he didn't like that.
Well, NJ Fishing Maniac said, John Parker jujued me for 3 weeks over the summer.
Yep. I believe it. And see, normally I'm immune to that John Parker stuff.
Oh, yeah, it's because you got your own juju.
I use my own juju. You know, the best time I ever had, I had John Parker and Lee Evans on my live stream. That's when I caught that piebald catfish with the question mark on its head. And Has come up on my panel. He goes, "You ain't catching nothing now. John Parker and Lee Evans both here." And 30 seconds after they said that, I caught a fish, and a little bit later, I caught that piebald.
Well, Cannon Payne came in and say, "Hi, Danny."
Hello, good to see you. Good to see you.
John Parker's a good guy, though. As much
He
as much
is, man. Hey, I can relate a lot to John Parker.
as much as we teach old John Parker, we teach him a lot, but he's a good guy.
He is. It's you know what, John Parker loves to joke more than anybody that I know on YouTube, and he enjoys a good laugh. And
I've seen him the
he's got
last
one of
2
the
years at
biggest hearts you've
CatCon,
ever
and
seen from anybody.
seen him the last 2 years at CatCon, and him and Dan are just a joy to be around.
Oh yeah. Like I said, John's got the biggest heart of anybody out there.
Whisker Dreams came in and said, "Hello, Danny."
Hey, Ricky, what's up, buddy?
And
Yeah,
I know how hard it is to read chat and to watch your rods at the same time. That's why I
Well,
wanted to come up and help you read chat.
first off, I'm not real good at it anyway because I get distracted and I just pay attention. I act like nobody's here and just talk to myself 90% of the time. And a lot of people said, "Man, you don't never look at chat." I'm like, I forget y'all are even there, other than, I know y'all supposed to be watching.
Well, Mike
But,
Greenwell wants to know how's the fishing.
well, we're getting a lot of bites, but I think it's a lot of dink channel cat. You can't fish the main river. I tried. I spent an hour and a half over there a while ago and didn't catch nothing but stumps, logs, and trees.
Yeah, I was out fishing earlier today on our river, and
Yeah.
every one of my baits ended up on the bank.
Oh yeah. Well, I got fast current coming out of this spillway dam right now. I mean, it's blasted, and the water's just chocolate colored. And we're still getting hit. So there goes J Dog, and there goes the Mad Catch rod. But they're just pecking. I've got pretty good sized baits on there, so I know that's just little channel cat that's grabbing that and mouth it, and they can't get it in their mouth.
Linda Cox said, "Danny, I didn't know you were fishing. So how many jumped off your lines?"
They will hook. Didn't know I was fishing and what?
How many jumped off your lines?
Several. I've caught a bowfin.
And Greenwell Fishing says, "Stumps, logs, and trees." Dallas Liver came in and said, "Howdy, y'all."
Let me go ahead and get y'all packed or put up on the battery pack.
Oh, you're going to the battery pack already?
Well, I've been running this thing all day, off and on. Even when I wasn't live streaming, I was at least watching people. So
Warren Farley said that guy that went to CatCon with the Parkers was kind of sketchy. We met more.
Yeah, my battery's at 67%, but I don't like to let my battery get below 50%. I mean, I carry several battery packs with me. There's no point in letting it get, because once you get it below 50 on my phone, it's hard to get it go back up to 100. But as long as you're above 50 and you plug the pack in, it'll go back up to 100 in no time.
Well, see, when Sheree and I are fishing from the bank, I've got a power inverter in my truck, so we just plug into that.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I'm probably one of the few people that carry an extension cord with them to go fishing.
Well, I've got a 100-footer in my truck, but I use it for my generator. Oh, there was a nice thump on the Uncle Lou rod.
Well, see, Danny, my generator is a 96 Dodge.
Yeah. I carry a little 1,000-watt power pack or little suitcase generator, and I run my lights on. I can actually run my lights. And back before I bought these battery packs, I could plug into a cord and charge my phone. I ran everything off of it: the lights, the phone. Ooh, J Dog just got bumped. Well, there's a mess of little ones out there.
Aaron says he likes Muddy River fishing, live bait, and a rattle.
There you go.
So do you ever use that, Danny? You use live bait and a rattle there in the Mississippi?
I will when the springtime hits a little bit warmer and the water warms up. Absolutely. Man, you throw a bluegill behind one of them rattles, and you get in the right spot, and you're ringing the dinner bell for them flatheads, man. I mean, I'll tell you what, they'll tear it up.
Now, what kind of water temperature are you looking for when you start flathead fishing during the spring?
When they start biting, I don't have no thermometer with me.
Well, I know you go fishing with Fishing in
Richard,
Freedom,
fishing in freedom.
so I know he's got some way to tell water temperature in his boat. So here
Well,
lately, what water temperature are you looking for?
for me, I like it to be probably around 60, 65 degrees is what I can see they're going to start getting fired up here.
But here's a little trick that I learned. You know those little laser temperature sensors that you can buy?
Yeah,
You can use those to test the surface temperature of the water.
yeah. Well, here's the thing. You know, a lot of guys, that stuff's all important. I mean, they look at the water temperature, they look at the barometric pressure, uh, they look at cold fronts and this and that and all that. That stuff's important, and it is a huge factor in you analyzing a day and saying, "Am I going to catch fish or not?" See, I'm old school. I'm just sit on the bank. Grew up as a kid doing it, and I don't worry about temperature. I don't worry about barometric pressure. I don't worry about if the sun's shining or if it's behind 50,000 clouds. Because you know what I do? I go
If you
fishing
want to
anyway.
go fishing, you go fishing.
Yep, and I don't need now. I'm not putting that stuff down. That stuff's important. If you really want to know how you're gonna do that day, that stuff matters. But I'm going fishing anyway, so it don't matter to me.
Well, Whisker Dream says he put solar panels on his boat to keep his batteries charged. Avid Fisherman is driving and listening. Uh, Whisker Dream said he looks for water temperatures in the high 50s to low 60s.
Yeah,
Greenwell says 50 degrees for flatheads to start biting. Been a long winter for them. He also said that's like measuring something with a reflection, Thomas. Can't get an accurate reading that way. May not
well,
be
see,
accurate, but it's a start.
that just goes to show you right there how much I know about temperature and stuff because I never have worried about it. I just know that when it's warm in the summertime, I can put a bluegill on a thing and throw it out there with a rattle on it, and I catch flathead. You get these guys that analyze all that, they're smart. They know what they're doing.
Aaron
But
says when it hits middle of April, that's when he starts his flathead hunt. Want to be outdoors, said Danny Bowfin Stone.
that's it. I got a new name this year. We're going for the both fins this year.
Linda
Hey,
Cox
that's why
says,
when it gets real warm here, you got to get out of this spot because it is nothing in here but gar and bowfin, gar and bowfin. When it gets real hot,
Linda,
they move up into this tributary. You can get out of here.
Linda Cox said, Danny has his own party on the bank just fishing.
That's it. If I was the type of person that does all that analyzing and stuff, I'd never go fishing. You know what I mean? I don't analyze nothing. I just say, am I still breathing? If I got bait, put the rods in the truck, I'm going fishing.
Catfish Fever and Outdoors says May in his area for flatheads.
Yeah.
But everybody's water is different, so everybody has a different strategy.
I know here that water's pretty dadgum hot. Uh, I mean, by my standards, you can jump in and go swimming and not get cold. And the flatheads are biting pretty good, but you got to go. That's the funny thing because when that water gets real warm, like where I find them at, is you'll find overhanging trees and stuff that's got limbs in the water, and they'll be tucked up in there in the shade. I'm like, why are they gonna wait all year for the water to get warm, and then go up in there and lay in the shade? They're contradicting themselves. Shouldn't they be out there just swimming around that warm water and enjoying it? They're waiting on it, but no, they go right up into the shade and lay up in there.
Homestead Aquarius has a comment. It's so cool to be able to watch so many fishing and outdoor channels on YouTube. Back in the day, you had to wait for the shows to be on TV each week. I love YouTube
You
today.
know what? that's one of the truest statements you could ever make because I hadn't really ever thought about that. But man, we used to wait all week long to watch Bill Dance and what was that? Remember In Fisherman TV? And they come on like once a week, and man, you just be like waiting all week just to watch that.
That'd be Saturday mornings or
Yeah.
Sunday. Greenwell
Now all you got to do
fishing.
is just turn on your YouTube.
My Greenwell says, "Prove it, Danny. I want to see you jump in."
It ain't that time yet, Mike.
Want to be outdoors, says Danny won't jump in. He's scared.
He'd be right. Hey, I've drowned once, and that ain't fun. You know what? You talking about a painful death. The only thing I think could probably be more painful than drowning is burning to death. But
And Homestead Aquarius says, that being said, I wouldn't mind watching someone fall in the river after tripping.
yeah, but when I was 11 years old, me and my brothers was jug lining this farm pond, and this farmer come up there, and we had milk jugs out there. Man, one of them was shooting across the daggone pond, and he run to our side, and he was laughing and joking with us. He said, "Boy, if I get that jug before you get it," he said, "that fish is mine." Well, off come my shoes and off come my shirt, and in the water I went. And I swam out there and I grabbed that jug and I started swimming back toward the bank. And that catfish went around my legs with that line about 5 times. And I was just up and down bobbing, holding on to that milk jug, and it wouldn't hold me up. And I got close enough to the bank just as I blacked out that they reached out there with a stick and hooked my shirt and pulled me in. And my heart was still beating, still had a pulse, but I wasn't breathing. My lungs were full of water. And they turned me over on my back, put my feet up in the air, and raised my legs up. And man, they said a gallon and a half water gushed out of me. And I took a deep breath. But you know, I had a headache for 3 days after that happened. And I'm assuming it's because of lack of oxygen to my brain. And some folks say that's probably what's wrong with me now.
Well, I don't believe that, Danny. I can't believe your lungs only hold a gallon and a half of water.
Oh, I take quick breaths and I grunt a lot.
You talk too much just for that little bit of water to be in there.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what.
There had to be 3 gallons per lung.
You talk about something hurting, man. When you got all that water in your lungs, and the thing is, though, you don't get it all out of there. What's he hollering about?
Downtown Ernie Brown said, "Now we know what's wrong with Danny."
That's it. I've got a medical excuse. Man, there's all kinds of people showing up here now.
Well, you got people coming out here to fish with you?
No, I think them fellas there's fixing to try to throw a cast net, and it's not going to do them any good in that fast current.
Well, right now, Danny, you got 54 people watching, according to my phone.
Now all we got to do is try to catch something that ain't a bowfin.
Well, you just got to try to catch something, even if it's cold.
There you go. Well, we got
so, as an old school fisherman, Danny,
do what?
As an old school fisherman that doesn't use technology and all, what are you looking for when you're fishing for flathead this time of year?
Well, my spot, the way I know about the only way I know about flatheads is just from fishing the same spots in this river for 46 years. I know where I caught them at. I've seen the water when it's in drought stage, and I've seen the cypress stumps and the logs and the holes in the bank and the cuts, and I know where those spots are. Okay, and I can go to those spots at the right time of the year and throw the right bait if I want to go target flatheads and get on them. Me and Richard Cluck have talked about this a number of times. Our best flathead spots. That's the funny thing about it. If you find a spot that's got flatheads, 9 times out of 10, they got no phone signal. I don't know if them flatheads don't like phone signals or what.
Well, they're not very friendly critters. You know, they don't have a lot of friends. They don't want to talk to people.
Well, all the spots we know where there's flatheads are way off the beaten path. They're way back up into, oh crap, they want a big hit on that big old giant skipjack head. There was a log laid on top of that, or a stick laid on top of that line, and when he jerked it, he flipped that stick up in the air. I hope he gets on there. Come on back, son.
So when you're flathead fishing, are you looking for structure or what are you looking for, Danny?
Structure, absolutely. Log jams, log piles, cuts in the bank. Some of the best spots I found is down trees in the river where the roots are up on the bank, but the tree is down in the water. If you could throw and float a bank in there where that tree is, the flatheads will lay up in there underneath that tree or along the top of it. We've actually went across with the boat before and seen them laying just on the log itself. They would just lay up on it. You know, like a squirrel gets on a tree and hugs it. We went across logs and seen flatheads laying on trees underneath or just laying on top of them.
So are you throwing in front of the log or are you throwing on the back
Yes,
side of it?
I go on the front side of it. That way, the scent from my bait is drifting into the log jam. Now, that being said, we don't target flatheads that much here because once we get into, man, it's just so much work getting in there and getting them out of them log piles. Because every time you hook a big one that's worth catching, first thing he's gonna do is shoot for that tree. I target blue cats more than anything. Open
Now,
water, straight out
now
fight.
is this from the bank or from the boat, Danny?
We do both. I'm majorly from the bank. But if I wanted to go after flatheads, I would say you're better off in the boat, to be honest with you.
Why is that?
Because from the bank, if I'm fishing a log jam, okay, I'm throwing from the bank and it's drifting back up in there. He's got more chance to get up in there and get away from me. In the boat, you can maneuver upstream and get in line with that where you're just drifting right straight into the log pile instead of across it. See what I'm saying? Like if there's a log jam in the river and I throw out there to it, well, that current's dragging all my line into that log jam. And that's just multiplying how many times I can get snagged up. Whereas you're on a boat, you anchor up upstream of it and you throw straight into it. You're just going straight into the log pile like that instead of across it. You're not going to get hung up as like it. That makes sense?
Oh, it makes sense to me. Aaron says he moved to lake fishing for flatheads and doesn't fish rivers anymore for flatheads.
See, that's the thing. I cannot lake fish. If you ever want to beat me in a tournament, you challenge me to a lake fishing tournament. I just don't have that much experience. I grew up on this river. I fished this river. It's pretty much all I know is river fishing, you know. But you put me on a lake, man, I can't, man, I couldn't catch a cold in a tub of ice water on a lake.
The difference between river fishing and lake fishing, it's like two totally different animals.
It is absolutely, and I'm no good at lake fishing. Uh, Anybody out there can beat me on a lake. I promise you can. If I beat you, it was pure luck. It wasn't skill. I assure you of that.
Because from what I've seen since I've been watching YouTube, is everyone that fishes a river cannot fish effectively in a lake because there's no current.
Right. I gotta have current. Even in a small creek, you got a little bit there, you know. You may throw a leaf in the water and it takes 5 minutes for it to float past you, but there's still current there.
Because Shereen and I don't fish a lot of lakes because most of them worth fishing are like an hour away. We're going to start doing that this year, but we're not used to not having current. We fish from the bank. We cast straight out 90 degrees to the current. We know where our line's going to go. From a boat
Most of the guys that I
in a
know,
lake, you cast out 90 degrees. You don't know where your line's going to go.
most of the guys that I know that are good at river and lake fishing are generally the guys that do a lot of crappie fishing in a lake because they'll stumble across different things that will, give them the knowledge they need to catch the catfish while they're crappie fishing. If you ever go to Real Foot Lake in Tiptonville, Tennessee, okay, it was actually formed. That Real Foot Lake was formed during that big earthquake way back, and don't ask me the date because I wasn't born yet before you smarty pants would say I was. But when they had that
It's
big
a few
earthquake,
years before you were born, right?
yeah, But Reelfoot Lake was formed by an earthquake that changed the course of Mississippi, and it sealed off that section. All that lake there used to be part of the Mississippi, but it's some of the best crappie and giant bluegill fishing you ever seen in your life at Tiptonville, Tennessee, Reelfoot Lake. That being said, you could go down there with a crappie pole and crappie jig and catch more channel cats that are a pound and a half, 2 pounds out of the brush piles than you can crappie. They'll hit crappie jigs like a crappie will.
Well, NJ Fishing Maniac says he fishes ocean inlets, which is like river fishing.
It is. You got here's
Because
the
I
thing.
know
I'll
you
get a lot of
fish. I know
saltwater.
you go down to Ford and fish a lot.
Yes.
So,
And what
are
I
those
look for,
currents similar to a river current?
absolutely. Because what I'm looking for, here's the thing. What I'm looking for when I'm fishing on the beach, I will go way up on a sand dune and I will scan the water. And what I'm looking for is a riptide. Now, riptides are something that people on the beach absolutely hate. They avoid them because they've killed more people than sharks. Okay. But a riptide is basically when all that water keeps coming in to the beach, the shore, it's got to go back out. So it kind of circles around and it finds a point where it all channels back out into the main bay or gulf or ocean or wherever you're at. And that's how you form a riptide, is the water beating up on there, and it's got to have some place to go. So it forms like a channel where it makes a big circular motion. And that's where, if you see people swimming along the beach, and all of a sudden they'll come across something, and then the current is just like super fast, and it'll whip you out there and drown your butt. Okay, that's a riptide. If you're a fisherman, that's solid gold right there. You throw that bait in that riptide and let it drift out there in that current, and that's where the fish are swimming up against that current and feeding. So keep that in mind. If
922
you know how to
Crappie
spot a riptide,
Barbecue.
that's how you fish.
922 Crappie Barbecue said, Danny, quit telling people our secrets.
It's true.
Dallas Liver said, in a lake, I like live bait with a bobber or a balloon.
Now I've jug lined lakes before and had fun with that, but fishing with a rod, no, I suck at it. On a lake, no, not me.
Now, Danny, I mean, do you fish a lake in a boat or off the bank? I know you're a bank
Both.
fisherman.
I've done both. Anytime you're jug lining, you pretty much got to have a boat. But I've got 2 boats in my backyard with 6 motors, and none of the motors run. So uh, it got to where it's so expensive keeping them boats running. I just said, you know what? I'm just going to go to the bank and finish out the rest of my life doing that.
No, NJ, I'm not going to read that comment out loud. People
Oh,
can
good
read it.
Lord.
I mean, whether you can afford balloons or not, I'm not going to read that comment out loud.
I'm going to go back and look now because that boy's crazy.
Even if I had the power to highlight it, NJ, I wouldn't. I guess Danny just seen it.
I saw it. I got about 100 comments I can make, but I'm not going to do it.
Well, I understand, Danny. That's why I wasn't going to read that comment. Want to be outdoors says he likes using balloons at night and stick a small glow stick in it. Fishing with Jeff Beal came in and said, "What's up, everybody? What's happening?"
I guess he uses them condoms to catch that premature bite.
Well, that premature bite's going to get off the hook, don't you think?
Yeah, that'd confuse a lot of people. Come in, you catch a fish date, and all the condom broke. Oh my God!
Yeah, see, Danny, there's a reason I didn't want to read that comment.
I know it. Now you got me going. I'm gonna have to shut that down. I'm gonna just put it out of my head. The freaking NJ. That's something I'm looking forward to this year.
NJ said he doesn't even get them bites, Danny.
Yeah, there's something I'm looking forward to today. Is I want to spend one day I'm going to catch NJ out fishing. Either I'm going to come up on his live or he's going to come up on mine. But he's absolutely one of my favorite bank anglers there is out there.
The Bodybuilding and Motivational Clips channel wants to know, what are y'all catching out here?
Right now, bowfin. We're trying to catch catfish, but so far all we caught is a big bowfin.
Now, is that a new viewer for you, Danny?
Who?
The Bodybuilding and Motivational Clips channel?
I believe so. Hey,
Because
let me check
I
this.
haven't seen that name in any
It's
chat.
dropping slack fast. We got something weird going on here. Uh-oh. What we got going on here? The last time this happened, we had a 61 pounder.
Looks like Danny might be on a bite. I don't know which rod he's using, but looks like he's reeling in some slack. Can you tell us what's going on, Danny?
Where's the end of it?
Man, the Bodybuilding Motivational Clips channel. Target here is catfish. We've caught a bowfin, I believe, so far. Danny, I don't know if you can hear me, but the Bodybuilding and Motivational Clips channel is from South Africa.
Really?
So, Danny, that just confirms that, your channel is international.
Got it.
Oh, looks like Danny's got a fish on. Looks like Danny's got a fish on.
Is John Parker still in here?
Well, I don't know. John Parker, you still here? Has your juju caused some kind of problem again? But welcome from South Africa, bodybuilding. We love having international viewers on every channel here.
I think John Parker's still in here, isn't he?
It depends on what you just caught, Danny.
You gotta be kidding me. Oh, come on, don't bite me.
I mean, if that's another bowfin or just a baby, then yes, John Parker's in here watching.
Give me that hook back. Oh, come on now. You're killing me here. God.
And NJ Fishing Maniac says, hit that thumbs up, y'all. Hit that thumbs up.
Stay still. Oh, come on.
And Super Smurf Eric said prayers for the family for the boat accident at Hoover Reservoir yesterday. Guess I hadn't heard about that.
God, I hate these things. Open your mouth.
Homestead Aquarius said you didn't get stunk, so that's great.
Oh, good grief, man. This thing's trying to take my hand off.
You've got little hands, Danny, so you can't afford that.
No.
And I believe you make your living with your hands, so.
Yeah, I don't want him biting my fingers off.
So you really can't go to work one-handed.
I'm trying to get him to open his mouth.
Warren Farley said that John Parker probably fell asleep by now.
Well, he must have left the stream running. All right, now we got a hold of him.
So what do we got, Danny? What do we got?
You know what it is. Another freaking bowfin. Oh, dude, we're going to look him over real good. Let me get these pliers and get this hook out of him, because I'm not sticking my fingers in his mouth. That's
Don't be
Ernie
scared,
Hawk
Danny.
snatcher.
Don't be scared.
Catfish nugget hook has got him. Come out of there.
That looks like that might be some good bait.
Now, Let's go over a couple things on this fish. First off,
Well,
look how
the
cool.
outdoor said he's missing a tail.
Can y'all see the green fins on him? But look at this. Look at his tail. Something has bit him. Now, these things aren't no joke. They will light you up. I mean, they got teeth like you wouldn't believe. But something has bit his tail off. But that right there is nothing to play with.
You're only going to lose one finger, Danny.
Both today.
Don't be scared, Danny. Just stick your finger in there.
Yeah, might as well weigh him.
You might as well. You got him.
He ain't as big as that first one.
I'm going to say 4 pounds, 4 or 5.
I'll go along with 4. 4. I'm gonna. You know what? Let's take a guess. I'm gonna say he's 4.38. 4.38.
I'm going to go with 4.5, Danny. NJ said it looks almost like a snakehead lake trout. NJ is guessing 3.16. Oh, we were both wrong.
Yep. Not by much. 4.87.
Now, what tournament was that yesterday, Super Smurf? What tournament was that, Eric?
Yeah, I looked up and that rod, the slack was dropped all the way to the bank and going back up the river. I reeled and 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 finally caught up with him.
Yeah, I seen you was doing a lot of reeling.
Yeah, he swam in toward the bank. But you know that had me pumped up because that's what that 61-pound blue cat did in this exact spot. I was on Parker. I was on doing the River Rat show. It was just me and Jerry Parker on there that week. And I looked up and the line was laying on the bank. It just dropped slack. And I reeled it up. And it pulled tight. When it did, the rod bent down and I lifted up on it. It's 61-pound blue. So I thought, here we go again. We got another big.
I bet you was happy with that blue.
Oh, man, I was tickled to death.
Now, is that your PB blue, Danny?
Do what?
Is that 61 pound your PB blue?
No, my PB is 70. And that was when we did an episode of the River Rats, and our guest of the show that day, which was really cool, was Epic Catfishing, Tim Scott. Him and Sean from Catfish Heroes, they were up on panel when I caught that 70-pounder. And you know what? That's what made it really special for me to have Tim Scott on the show when that happened. But you can actually see that fish.
Me and Sharina are hoping to go.
Do what?
Me and Sharina are hoping to go fishing with Tim and Sean someday.
Absolutely, man. We're gonna get up there and see Epics pretty soon. We're working on it. Parker went out and met up with him late last year, I think it was.
Well, I believe Tim's just 5 hours away from us.
Oh yeah. I don't think it's quite that far for me.
This isn't fishing related, but Jeff Beal has a question for you. Says, Danny, what are you carrying?
On the river, I carry my cheap one. It's the Taurus, the P92. It's like a knockoff of a Beretta. Okay, but my good one is the actual Beretta 92, but I don't bring it out here in this mud. So I just bring that Taurus out here in the mud. You get some craziness out here sometimes. And man, I mean, I ain't looking to shoot nobody, but I don't want to get shot. You know what I'm saying?
And we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. Generally, folks just leave me alone.
You got to have personal protection. Even if it's not what NJ is using for a balloon.
Got to unwrap another skipjack that we caught yesterday.
Well, why not use that fish you just caught for live bait? It'd be fresh. And Butterflies and Sunshine says, it's all good, Danny. As long as you know how to use it, it will do the job.
Yeah. What was that?
Butterflies and
What?
Sunshine said, it's all good, Danny. As long as you know how to use it, it will do the
Well,
job.
I'm ex-army. I was infantry.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Danny.
Yep. I know. I know. All them Air Force and Navy guys and the cotton picking Marines. But I was 7th Infantry Division, United States Army. My last duty
Oh,
station was Fort Ord, California.
I'm just sorry to hear that you were a grunt. I know how hard that is on you.
Hey, it's the reason half my back and my shoulders and my legs don't work right no more.
I was stationed on an air base. Yeah, I know you grunts had it a whole lot harder than I did.
Yep. We got all them little baits out there. Let's go ahead and throw a big old skipjack head out on this rod here, see if we can't find something that can eat it.
Well, Danny, what did you catch that bowfin on?
Look here, Thomas. This is brand new reel. This is a Gulang. I don't know if you can see that or not. I think my cotton picking worm drive or the paws tore up. All the lines piled up on that side right there.
Oh, is
It's
that how
reeled
you
up with one
pronounce the name of
shot.
that reel? So Gulang?
Yeah. But it's all the line is piling up on here, so that's not moving correctly.
Yeah, I would say that your paw's not working right.
Now, I'm guessing.
Because I've had some when my abus get worn, that paw on the you know that part,
Yeah.
that part that I know the name of, but I can't think of.
The worm drive?
Yeah, that's the part. That's what happens a lot. Is your paw cap loose? Because if that cap
No, it's
comes
still
loose,
there. I'm gonna
oh,
throw it out there and try to get by with it today, but I'll probably wind up putting one of them abus I got from Joe Ziegler on here.
but if it's loose, it'll cause that same problem. Yeah, I seen that video you did the other day with those two abus you got from Joe Z. And with your line all tied up like that, I'm surprised you got that distance.
Yeah, that caused me a backlash again, but I can get this one out.
Jeremy's tournament cat says he likes that spot. Wayne's World Catfishing says y'all need to use pins. Mike Chavez, welcome back. I'm not even going to ask what you had for dinner, Mike. We don't want to make everybody hungry.
That reeled up
Richie
all
the
right that
Squirrel.
time. It worked back and forth.
Jeremy's tournament cat sent you a 99-cent super sticker. Matt from Want to Be Outdoors says he likes using the pens, but you can't erase when you make a mistake like a pencil.
Yeah, that's our big money rod anyway. That Mad Cat's Lisa rod, the one I got from Lisa and Aaron Elliott. So we gotta put big baits on it. What is that Muddy River rod doing?
But Danny, I don't know if you heard me a minute ago, but Jeremy's tournament cat sent you a 99-cent super sticker.
Oh, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Hey, this is a spot. I fished in a tournament with him one time, and I took second place. It was his tournament, and he beat me on his own tournament. And I was sitting here, I had a canopy up, the wind was blowing, it was sleeting and raining, freezing cold, and I had to quit 30 minutes before it's over because I ain't never quit nothing. But it got to where I could not feel my hands, and man, I was just so upset. I mean, it actually emotionally damaged me to have to go quit and go get in that truck. But that was during one of Jeremy's tournaments, and all I had to do was hang there 30 more minutes. And man, it was just so freaking cold. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I mean, my hands quit working; they were frozen, and I
Well,
still
that's
went up
old age.
second place. But
That's old age and arthritis, Danny.
yeah,
Greg
but
Burgess came in from Louisiana.
and I would like to believe that if I'd have finished that 30 minutes, that I might have uh, beat Jeremy. But he was so far ahead of me, I could have gave him 30 more hours.
JTC said he remembers that tournament. You were in a hurricane.
Yeah, it was bad. But yeah, he was so far ahead of me, man. I couldn't have beat him if he let me fish 30 more hours and he'd quit fishing. He stomped my butt.
Jeremy catches some good fish.
He did. He put the smoke out there. Now I caught fish that night with the ice blowing and storm and raining, and my canopy blew over, and it was awful. But I still got some fish. So oh, that's got to be another bowfin. Dadgummit.
So what are
It's
we
got
using for bait today, Danny?
skipjack, fresh. Just caught it yesterday. Man, I got a line ripping through the water out right now. I mean, it's going. It's going.
So would you consider that a fish on, Danny?
I don't know. Hold on.
That looks to be an Uncle Lou's rod. Crappie Dave Fish In. Fish On came in and said, hello, good people.
He's still just bumping it. We're going to let it sit for a little bit, see what happens. We're going to keep an eye on that rod. He dropped slack, and man, when he pulled it out, that line, there he goes, tapping it. When he took off, he pulled the slack out of that line. It was slicing through that water real fast. And then when I tightened down on him, he either dropped it or stopped running. So we're just going to see what happens.
Is that an Uncle Lou's rod?
Yes, it is.
What reel you got on that?
I got that one's got that Abu 6000. I got home yesterday from skipjack fishing, and I had a package in the mail from Joe Ziegler.
Yeah,
Open
I
it up.
watched that video.
That's one of the reels that's on there on that Uncle Lou rod. Oh, he's bending it. Come on. Take it all the way down, son. Come on. This is what I'm in right now is a mess of channel cats and bowfins. Them cotton picker bowfins have moved up in here.
So, Danny, you got that new reel from Joe Z on that rod. So, what's the name of that rod?
Oh, that rod's always been Ruby.
Oh, has it always been Ruby?
Yep, that's the Orange Crush rod. I'm not Orange Crush. The orange rod I got from Uncle Lou. Well, I won it on Chrissy and Ernie Brown's channel. They gave away. They said we're going to give away Uncle Lou's rod, and they said, you know what? Better than that, we're going to give away two, and only one person's going to win them. And it was two Uncle Lou rods, your choice of colors. And I won that giveaway on Ernie and Chrissy's channel. And I got a hold of Uncle Lou and told him I want an orange one and a purple one. And he said, whatever you want, you got them. So
Butterflies.
we got them in. The orange one
Butterflies
stayed
and sun.
Do what?
Butterflies and sunshine said saw your mail call yesterday. That was really nice of Josie.
I know it, man. He messaged me, or he was in chat. He said, "Danny, I need your address." He said, "I'm gonna send you something." And I'm like, "Okay." No clue what he was doing. He didn't say what what he's up to. Got home yesterday. There was a package from him. Opened it up. It had 2 Abu Garcia Ambassador 6000 reels in there.
But
He said
Danny,
they
I
need a
can't
little bit
help
of
but
cleaning, a
notice.
little bit of oil, but
I can't help but notice that somebody is missing in your lineup.
well, who would that be?
I don't see Black Betty.
Betty does not fish the creeks. She absolutely refuses to. Uh, she is a big river gal. She says, "I'm not going out there in that crap. When you get ready to go after big fish on the river, give me a call. Other than that, I'm on break." She will not fish here. She hates it. I brought her here fishing. Um, she won a couple tournaments for me here, but she kind of put her foot down and said she's going on strike if she had to fish these crappy little channels again. She said it's not for her. She's a big water fisherman. She wants either the Mississippi River or take me to Florida and put me in the Gulf. But other than that, she's not doing it no more. She said she don't want no part of it.
Well, I seem to recall that she doesn't like Richard Cluck's boat either.
She jumped out of it.
Yes, she did.
Sure it is. She jumped out of Richard Cluck's boat. We had to go back 2 miles and find her floating on the water.
Yeah, it's a good thing she was loaded up. Because if she didn't float, she'd have been gone.
That rod's renting the Mississippi River so many times it would amaze you that I still got it. Whenever I fished the Iron Cats Walmart Challenge, I won that challenge. I won that tournament in the first round. I think Sharina was in that tournament too. Well,
I
we had to
believe
use
she
the
was.
Walmart baits and spin the wheel.
Believe she was.
Well,
Sharina,
that's the thing.
Sharina couldn't get the baits she wanted.
Exactly. But uh, I won that tournament in the first round. And the funny thing about it is that it was on Black Betty. She got pulled into the river. And I was talking to the camera. They were uh, Mike or Kevin from Palmetto Cats asked me a question, and I was standing in front of the camera answering the question. When I turned around, Black Betty was gone. She gone off the bank, and I looked out in the water, and there she was going upriver like a torpedo, floating. And I grabbed another rod, cast out there, and caught her, reeled it in, then reeled in a 25-pound blue cat that won the tournament.
Look, lady said in chat, Betty's in the truck right now, rolling her eyes, cussing under her breath.
She's right over there.
In the back of the truck, cussing under her breath, rolling her eyes.
You can see her from a mile away. I've got to get my. Have you ever seen when I put those epic lights on her? It's a string of lights that go on Betty when I fish at night.
Butterflies and Sunshine says, look, lady, I can see her batting her eyelashes saying, you know, I can hear you. So Black Betty may not be your friend in the morning.
My epic lights to put on her.
Black Betty may not be your friend in the morning. Got
No,
her in the truck, not in use.
No. See, you guys are completely misunderstanding. Her not being out here is not my call. That's her call. She decided she does not want to fish this. She says these little channels and stuff are beneath her. She's got a snooty attitude. See, she thinks she's a big water fishing rod. Okay.
Oh, so you're saying she's like most women, and
yeah, you ain't good enough for me. That's what she's got, that attitude. She wants the main Mississippi River. She wants to fish Big River, Mississippi, the Tennessee, the Ohio. She wants to go down to the Gulf of Mexico and try to chase shark. But you put her on channel cats, hey, you know what?
I understand. I don't think I'm good enough for Serena, but she loves me anyway.
Well, there you go. You kind of got the gist of it. She don't like small water. You can't hardly use Betty here anyway, because I mean, it's only 60 yards across to the other bank, and you can't throw her because she winds up going into trees over there on the other side.
A&J Fishing Maniac says, Danny, my GPS says I'll be at your house in 58 minutes.
Come on with it. You get to the house, drive 25 minutes back toward the east and find me. I'm on the Mississippi River. I'll buy it.
Butterflies and Sunshine says Betty is above the rest.
She is.
Now, do you fish the Illinois side of the Mississippi, Danny, or are you just strictly Missouri?
I'm mostly Missouri. I don't restrict myself. I have fished the Illinois side, and I've done some fishing in Illinois. I went up to Baldwin Lake and met up there with Jerry Parker. I generally every year when I renew my license, I buy first off my resident license in Missouri. I buy my Kentucky license. I buy my Illinois license. I buy my Tennessee license, my Arkansas license, and my Florida license.
Oh, you're spending a lot of money on a fishing license then.
Yeah, and I hope my wife ain't watching because we just brought that subject up again.
Sharina and I, we get Indiana, Illinois, and Kentucky, and just for those three, for the two of us, it's $210 a year.
Oh yeah, you're coming way under mine. Believe it or not, the most expensive one I get is the Arkansas, because I buy my the trout stamp and all that there. And when you start getting to that trout fishing, you better dig into that wallet deep or start writing checks.
Yeah, I believe that the trout stamp costs a little bit extra in every state.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
I do
trout
most
fish,
of my trout fishing. I do most of my trout fishing in Arkansas. I go to Montauk State Park here in Missouri. But what's good about Montauk is you can go up there and resident, non-resident, it doesn't matter. You go into that park, you pay $4 for a fishing license for trout a day. And they give you a little tag that hangs on the back of your hat. You just pin it on your hat. It's got a number on it. And you just pay $4 a day and you can catch 8 trout is the limit. And $4 a day, man, you don't even have to have a fishing license, just that tag that you buy from them.
Well, Stonefly71 said except here in Ohio, I'm not sure. Maybe he doesn't have to have a trout stamp. Want to be outdoors said it ain't that expensive trout fishing in Arkansas. I believe that's where Matt's at.
He is, but he's a resident too.
Fisherman Mike Chavez said his Virginia license is $9 now. NJ said trout is $11 extra in New Jersey. 23 year round, 34 year round with trout stamp.
Well, when I went there last year, and I went to John F. Kennedy State Park. We pulled the camper down there and we camped at that park right there on the. Is that the White River? I think. Is it the White River or the Red River? I can't remember.
But well, there's the White River in Arkansas and there's a White River in Indiana.
Yeah. Well, anyways, where I fished at, we went and got my fishing license from this little store there, and I bought a 3-day permit and a trout permit. It was $60 freaking is what they charged me.
Okay, Homestead Aquarius.
3-day permit and a trout permit.
Homestead Aquarius said, "Okay, y'all have inspired me. Going to get my fishing license in just a few minutes."
Do it. I do all mine online. I don't have to go nowhere.
922 Barbecue, Crappie Barbecue said no stamp needed in Ohio.
Really?
And this one little girl that wouldn't say hi to me earlier said, "Yeah, no stamp in Ohio." Linda Cox says she has a lifetime fishing license in Ohio. Stonefly said Mad River, Clear Creek, or Clear Fork places to trout fish in Ohio.
Well, I got a few more years and I won't have to buy a fishing license no more.
I'll always have to buy one. I don't think Indiana has a senior's fishing license.
Well, I'm creeping up on it.
And I really don't know if we have trout in Indiana. Butterflies and Sunshine said, "Hi, Thomas. Didn't recognize your voice until you said Sharina."
It was word association. That's how she recognized you.
That could be. And for some reason, NJ says I have the calmest voice he's ever heard.
It is pretty soothing. I'll have to give you that.
Well, I've heard my voice on a live stream playing back, and I don't understand it. My voice just sounds really high, so I don't know.
You don't understand your own voice? Just kidding.
Your voice ain't high. Mine's high. When I get excited to start running my mouth, it's like somebody rubbing a cat's butt with a cheese grater.
I feel sorry for that cat's butt.
I know it. Then you pour turpentine on it and see how fast they can run.
Stonefly71 says they still have no power since yesterday at 1 p.m. Matt, Want to be outdoors says I got a veteran's lifetime license, only pay for my Missouri license, but at a residential price. Oh, did we have a bite there, Danny? Or was it just
it's these bowfin. The way the bowfin do, you got the lines pulled tight, it'll drop slack and droop it back in toward the bank. And that's a bowfin will pick it up and run in toward the bank.
Buffalo will do the same thing, but I don't think Buffalo hit on skipjack.
Yeah. Both of the bowfin that we've caught today dropped slack all the way to the bank. We just had to reel up and catch up with them.
Wayne's World Catfishing, I believe, is asking Matt where he's at in Arkansas. Greg Burris wants to know, hey, Danny, what is the age you're talking about?
In Missouri, I think it's 65.
Well, you're that old, Danny? You're that close?
Not yet. Not yet. I got a few more years to go.
Homestead Aquarius said, okay, fishing license, catfish poles, metal detectors, gold panning equipment, gas money. Maybe I need to quit watching YouTube before I go broke. Homestead Aquarius, you can go broke just catfishing.
That's it. I'm telling you.
Fishing in Mid-South says, Tennessee has an interesting idea. If you were born in Tennessee, you can buy a license at the same price as a resident, even if you live out of state.
I like that.
See, I was born in Illinois, and I really don't like fishing there, so.
Don't let Abbott hear you say that.
No, I'm sure there's some places in Illinois that are worth fishing, but I mean, Tim Scott fishes there, so there's got to be some great places. I just don't know those places.
So you got a really weird current situation going on here where I'm at right now. You got this spillway dam up here.
That current looks a little slow to me, Danny.
Well, here's the thing. There's water pouring out of that spillway dam. Okay? I mean, it's gushing out there. There's whirlpools. It's rolling. Now, that being said, Mississippi River is back down there. It's rising really fast right now. So you got fast current coming from this way. You got the river rising. They're kind of crashing into each other and causing a big, giant eddy right here because the water can't figure out where to go. Mississippi River wants to come in here. All those fields and stuff want to drain out. So they're just kind of butting heads right here in the middle where I'm at. And if you throw on that side of this channel, it sweeps it downstream. If you throw on this side of the channel, it sweeps it upstream.
Well, Greg Burris says, I hope I don't have to buy a license for next year. He'll be 70. Fishing in the Mid-South said, Chicago has good food, but I can't think of another reason to visit that state. Wow. Brian Waldo said here in Cali, $77. 2 poles must be freshwater fish. Now, Brian Waldo, is that $77 for just a basic fishing license with just 2 poles? And it not include saltwater fishing? Because to me, that seems really extreme. Because here in Indiana, I believe our residential fishing license are $17.
See, I don't even understand all of the. When I go to Florida, I just buy a saltwater license, but you got several different licenses. You got offshore license, you got inshore license, you got a freshwater license. There's like a just like 6 or 7 licenses that you could buy down there. I always buy the just the saltwater license and hope that that covers whatever I'm doing. Because I'm on the beach fishing.
Brian Waldo confirmed $77 just for freshwater fishing. Well, I can't imagine fishing in California. $77 just to fish a pond. Fishing in the Mid-South said 2 poles. Tennessee has the same rule, worded differently. Only an unlimited number of rods over 2 are allowed. Well, that really doesn't make sense there, fishing in the Mid-South. Only unlimited number of rods over 2 are allowed.
Well,
I may be able
to clear that up. Like right now on the Mississippi River, okay, throughout the state of Missouri, on all waters except the Mississippi, you're allowed 3 poles unlabeled. Okay? Everywhere in the state, you're allowed 3 poles unlabeled. Now, if you put your conservation number on the poles, you can have 33 rods out. Okay? On the Mississippi River, this is where it gets weird. On the Mississippi, you're only allowed 2 rods unlabeled. But if you label them, you can have 50 rods out. But you got to have your conservation number, your name, address, all that crap. You just put your conservation number on there, you're fine. Because they can get all the rest of the information from that number. Right. Some guys go through the process of putting on their address, their name, and all that. Every one of these rods right now, it's got my conservation number written on them. I can set out 50 rods, but who in the world is going to chase 50 rods?
Brian Waldo said that $77 covers trout, cat, stripers, and ditch pickles and crappies.
See, there you go. It's just not just a generic fishing license. Then you have to buy all the specialized ones. It just one shot takes care of all of it.
Jeremy's Tournament Cat says, we can use unlimited in a boat, which is crazy. I only need 98 rods.
Exactly. What the hell did you need 100 for? Nobody does.
Stonefly 71 said, Danny Stone will chase 50 rods.
No, I might have back 10, 15 years ago, but I ain't got the energy for it now. I save all my energy for talking.
See, here in Indiana, we have a 3-rod limit. And to me, that's plenty to me.
Well, see, that's the thing. If you asked any Missouri resident, the average one, they don't read the fine print in the book. If you walked up to just went into Walmart and just walked up to somebody and said, hey, are you a fisherman? Yeah. How many rods you allowed in Missouri? They're going to say 3. They said, so you can't have 50? No, there's no way you can. Most people do not know that rule. You got to read the fine print in there. Last year, I was fishing up here at New Madrid. I had 12 rods out. This old man pulled down there in a pickup truck, started cussing me out, calling me all kinds of names. And he goes, that you're illegal, you're poaching. I said, no, I'm not. I said, first off, I don't keep these fish. I'm catching them, releasing them. He said, well, then you're stupid too. And he said, or tell me you can't let me rods out. I said, sir, whatever you believe is what you believe. You just go with that. Well, he goes up and calls the game warden. Game warden comes down there, asks me, he said, what's going on? I said, this old man's raising Cain because you got 12 rods out. He said, you got your number on them? I said, check them. He went over and looked, checked and seen I had my conservation number on every rod. Went back and told the old man, said, he's not doing nothing illegal. I don't know what you called me for. And the old man still come down there and said, he said, there's some scandalous stuff going on here. You're only allowed 3 rods in Missouri. Everybody knows that. You know, he said, that game warden's playing favoritism. And dude, it turned into a big ordeal. I had to pack up and go home. I was getting sick of his mouth.
Well, Fishing Mid-South said the Mississippi River rule is because Illinois allows 2, I believe. To allow reciprocity, they require that silly conservation number. Which, that's fine to me. I mean, if you're allowed a certain number of rods, but you can add your conservation number onto your rod and consider them bank rods or bank poles, as long as you're not breaking the law.
Well, here's one of the factors that caused them to come up with that. You had a lot of times people would be sitting out here on the bank and they'd have 10 or 12 rods out and there'd be 2 people sitting there. It'd be like a husband and a wife or a guy and his buddy. And they'd come up and check the fishing license. Okay. And one of them would have fishing license and one of them wouldn't. And he'd say, well, I'm not fishing. I'm just here hanging out with him. That's why they want you to label them rods, because they want to know who those rods belong to when they come up and check you and somebody claims they're not fishing. So you have to have your number on that rod because of that. That's part of the reason.
Okay, now here's a controversial statement by Homestead Aquarius. We need common sense fishing laws. There's no reason why anyone needs more than 1 rod. No need to have an arsenal against the fish. But before you answer, Danny, his next comment is, that's a joke. Don't hate me.
Okay, because I was fixing to fire him up. If I go up against somebody,
Mike Chavez Homestead trying to start something.
No, he's all right. But you go in like online tournament. It's just a given fact that some people's waters may be doing better. They may generally do better than other people's in there. Okay. But sometimes you got to get as many rods out there to try to keep up with them.
Yeah. But I wanted to read Homestead Aquarius's comment just because I knew it would create division. But then I seen his other comment. I wanted to make sure I got that in before you had a chance to comment. Because I knew it was going to be a joke. So I wanted to wait and find everything else out.
Well, I thought that one was going to go. He bent that rod hard. That's a good thump.
Fishing in Mid-South said, I like the states that only allow 2 rods, but 100 hooks.
See, I don't like putting a whole bunch of hooks on there because I get hung up a lot.
Yeah, and so do I.
Hung up, you're losing 100 hooks in one shot.
Well, let's see. I've used the Kentucky rig, but every time I've used that, the fish I've caught with it has been all tangled up. So I don't like using a double hook rig.
Well,
what are your thoughts on that, Danny?
I'm going to tell you something about double hook rig. It's a great rig for putting out a couple baits, because if you got some that keeps stealing the bait, then you got a second shot at it. Now, let me tell you what's happened to me before with double hook rigs, depending on how far you've spaced them apart. I've actually had, especially flathead, they'll get hooked in that upper hook, okay? And while they're fighting, they'll get that second hook in their tail, and they will pull real hard, and they will pull that hook out of their mouth with their tail, and then turn around and rip the other one out of their tail. A double hook rig will actually sometimes get caught in the fish fighting, and he can pull the hook by using that other hook. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, it's not common, but on a really big fish, it does happen.
Well, yeah, I understand that, Danny, because that's why I don't like the double hook rig.
Yeah.
Because
and they can actually also, if they get caught on a hook and they're dragging it through sticks and stuff, if the other hook gets caught on a stick, that gives him all the solid point leverage he needs to pull that hook.
Because, if you've got your hooks spaced far enough apart, you can actually injure that fish because it's got one in its mouth, one in its tail, and it gets wrapped up in that line,
Yeah.
and you're pulling it broadside, and you're hurting that fish.
And don't get me wrong. I'm not anti double hook rigs. I'm just pointing out some of the, there's pros to it. I'm just telling you some of the cons. It's not all peaches and cream. You know what I'm saying? Double hook rigs have got a lot of great things. I mean, you're doubling up your chances of hooking up. If you're getting hit on a bite and takedowns and pull the bait, you got another bait they can hit. There's a lot of great things about it. But don't think that it's all perfect. There's things can happen with double hook rig that are not positive things.
Now I know Chris Souders will use a double hook rig.
Yeah.
And I believe his hooks are really close to each other, but he puts small pieces of bait on each hook to make it seem like a bigger bait. And that works for him, but that doesn't necessarily work in all waters. Jeremy's Tournament Cat says he prefers one hook with a normal sized bait.
Now, let's venture off from it a little bit. When we talk about double hook rigs,
Dallas Libbard said he takes 3 rods, but usually catches all the fish on the same rod.
There's a good point. And you know what? We've had this debate and people speculating on it and coming up with theories. It always seems like when you go fishing, I don't care how many rods you put out, when you catch the first fish, it seems like every fish you catch after that, the majority of times, will be that rod. Now, here's a couple theories. One theory everybody had was that the catfish gets his slime on the line and gets that scent on there, which makes the next fish a little more relaxed and comfortable because he can smell that other fish has been there. It's more comfortable environment for him. Okay. My theory on it is, okay, if I've got 6 rods out and I catch a fish, okay, after I get that fish in, what am I going to do with that rod? 9 times out of 10, you're going to throw it right back in the same spot where you just caught that fish, right? Well, you may be on like a piece of structure or something with that rod that the other rods aren't on, and you keep throwing back to that structure with that rod. That's why it's going to keep catching the fish. That makes sense? Did I lose him? Let me look here. No, he's still there. Whew, I don't know if we're going to get another one there or not. We might need to reel up and rebait.
See, Indiana has a 3 rod limit, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't reel in 2 rods at a time. So if I happen to get lucky enough to catch, to triple up, what am I going to do with those other 2 rods? I can only reel in 1 at a time.
Right. Well, see, I grew up basically fishing with 3 rods, and before YouTube, that's all I did was fish with 3 rods. Now, because of YouTube, when you're doing a live show, let's be honest. You're really wanting to hope that you're going to catch fish for that show. You want people to see you catching fish. Okay. Now, you're going to increase your odds of catching fish by increasing the number of rods you got in the water. YouTube kind of pushes you to do that. I'm not blaming YouTube for it. I'm just saying you want to increase your chances of catching fish, especially on a live stream. Nobody wants to go on there and skunk with a bunch of people watching them.
Oh, I do that all the time.
Show and everybody have a good time. Normally, but if I'm going out fishing, say I want to catch some fish for just to catch channel cats to have for supper or something, that I don't take no cameras with me, none of that crap. Leave it all at home. Man, I'll just throw 2 or 3 rods in the truck and go out and fish.
Okay, 922 Coffee Barbecue said, Ohio went to 3 rods, everyone. Cheer or cussing it. I don't care because when I'm fishing, I don't have time for 2 rods, much less 3. But I am primarily crappie and channel catfishing, and my main rig is double hook or a jig rig.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in a spot where you're just getting hammered with bites, I mean, if you throw out 3 rods and they're just slamming them, there's no point in having any more than that. I get it. But if you're out on a spot where it's a slow bite, the fish are not very active and stuff, you want to increase your chances of getting a hookup on a fish on a live stream. You're going to throw out multiple rods. But
Man
that
with
being
one of
said,
the outdoors said, if I got lines in the water, I'm happy. I
there you
don't
go.
care about the rest. If they're eating, they'll eat.
And
Edward
that's the
Martin.
thing. This is
Edward
America.
Martin
We all
says,
do what
I'm
we
in
want to do.
Indiana. I have a senior fishing for life. So apparently, when I get old enough, I can just buy the one license and be done with it.
Yeah.
And Greg Burris from Louisiana says, Danny, when are you in Creole fishing? When are you guys going to have the other another river rats fishing?
Well, it'll be next weekend. We have our weekly meetings usually uh, Tuesday or Wednesday night. We go into a group chat. We figure out whose turn it is to host the show. We find out if that's possible because we try to keep a schedule, but because of the guys' work schedules, you don't always get to do that weekend. So
And
we kind of rotate in an oddball way.
I'm sure weather has a big thing to play in that as
Exactly.
well.
There's been times that guys have skipped their turn or are rotated with somebody because of situations coming up with either work, weather, what have you. That's why there's 4 of us, because we're able to pretty much adapt to anything thrown at us as far as being able to have a show.
Now, 3 of you primarily fish the same portion of the Mississippi, right?
Well, now me and Richard do. Me and Richard live in the same hometown. He's about 3-minute drive from my house to get to Richard's. Now,
Well, I thought
Jerry,
Parker lives in Illinois, but he fishes the same stretch, right?
no, Parker lives in St. Mary's, Missouri.
Oh, I thought he lived in Illinois.
No. He's a Missouri boy, but he lives in
Uh,
the town of St.
all right.
Mary's. Is like he's like an hour and a half north of us.
Okay, like I say, I know he fishes Baldwin a lot, and that's in Illinois. That's why I guess I assumed that he lived in Illinois.
No, he just does a lot of fishing over in Illinois, but he's straight up Missouri boy, no doubt about it.
Okay, say one of your subscribers want to fish with the great Danny Stone. Would that be possible? What would they have to do?
People do it all the time. Mike Snow, Fishing in the Mid-South. He was just up here a few weeks ago. Come up fish. We were sitting right here in this spot fishing together. Matt from Want to Be Outdoors. He came up not long ago and jumped on the boat with Richard Cluck, and they went out. And while they were on the boat together, Richard landed his new PB of an 88-pound blue cat.
Now,
And Matt from Want to Be Outdoors was in the boat with him when he did it.
I remember Mid-South fishing with you, but I guess I missed Matt and Richard fishing together.
Matt was on the boat with Richard when Richard got his new PB of 88 pounds.
Now, was that on the Mississippi?
Yeah. It was, matter of fact, it was right there where I was at earlier today before I came here. I was on the bank looking at them when they caught that fish.
Now, fishing the Mississippi with Richard on the boat, would you and Richard fish that spot you're fishing there from the boat?
Do what now?
Would you and Richard fish that spot there from the boat, or is that just strictly a Danny Stone bank fishing spot?
That spot there,
No,
I
mean where you're at now, Danny. Where you're at now.
Oh no, he won't bring that boat up in here. We've came up in here in the boat only when it's flooded like this, because when it's down to normal stages, there is underwater stumps, logs, trees that will absolutely wreck a prop on a boat.
Now I know last summer the Mississippi got really low,
It
really
did.
really low. How is it looking now compared to last summer?
It is way too high right now. Um, we're probably about 10 or 12 feet higher than I like for it to be.
So, like my little river here that I live on, you're looking at extremes.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not flooded to the point that um, I'm going to show you something. When I came back from CatCon, not this last one, but the year before, I didn't even make it home. I stopped to go fishing. Where I stopped at, if you look at that spillway dam, okay, you see the big, huge levee behind it? See it there?
Yes, we see it.
Okay. When I stopped that day, the water was halfway up that levee. That's how deep it was.
Now where is it? Since you got the levee in the picture, where is it? What's the normal water level for that area?
For this spot right here, it'd have to be about 10 foot lower. Right now, it's about 10 foot above where it normally is, and it's still rising.
So the riprap that's over on that levee is.
Oh yeah, you walk down that and trip and break your legs and stuff. That's you're walking way down in there.
Because see here, the White River where Serena and I are, it was 8 feet. Let's see, what day is this? Sunday. Tuesday was 8 feet. Now we're at 18 feet.
Yeah.
And it's still projected to go up to 24. So we got another 6-foot rise. And if it gets up high enough, sometime next week, I believe Serena plans on going live and fishing actually in the backyard.
There you go. Oh.
Want to be outdoors? Want some, Danny? Is that where you got your skips as well as your shad?
No, we went to Kentucky yesterday. They went to Kentucky Dam.
Yeah, I've been meaning to go there and meet Rustic Outdoors to fish there for skipjack.
Yeah, he was there yesterday. They were downstream from us.
But I believe that's a 2-hour drive for me.
It's a 2-hour drive for us.
And it's for me getting the time off work. It's hard to do.
Yeah.
And I don't know, on a Saturday and Sunday, it's just going to be packed.
It was. I went in there and caught what I needed and got out of there. Jerry Parker and Richard, they went in there and they filled up 2 coolers. But man, it was just so packed and people getting tangled up and such a mess. I went in there and caught me enough of them to fill my cooler about half up. And I said, you know what? I've got several tournaments coming up. This is 3 times the number of bait that I'm going to need for that. I'm going to take what I got, call it good, and back out. And, we went and got barbecue and let the guys down there catching skipjack. I said, I'd rather have barbecue than another skipjack right now.
Want to be outdoors said, Thomas, she sent me the water gauge, and that's going to be a drastic climb. So I'm assuming that Serena sent Matt the image of what our river is predicted to be. And Matt also wants to know, Danny, what day are you fishing the sabotage tournament?
I'm fishing the second day. I don't even know what day that is. I don't know what day of the month it is.
It'll be Sunday.
Yeah. But what's the date?
2nd.
Okay.
2nd day, April 2nd.
Well, there you go. That's the day I'm fishing. And I'm hoping to be on the Mississippi that day. I don't want to be here catching both in.
Well, see, Serena and I are fishing April 1st on Saturday. But we don't exactly know what all the rules are, because we know it's a sabotage tournament. Serena and I aren't partners. So if it's truly a sabotage tournament,
here's the thing. You don't know that.
Serena and I are on different teams. It's not only going to sabotage Serena's partner, but since she and I are both on the boat together, it's going to sabotage me and somebody else.
But here's the thing. You don't know who your partner is till it's over.
So
You
see,
realize that, right?
me and Serena, no, we don't actually know what the actual rules are. So me and Serena being on
Okay,
the
here's the
same
thing.
boat, me and
Here's
Serena
the thing.
being on the same boat, it's going to screw over so many people.
It don't matter. She may be your partner. You don't know. Okay? Nobody knows who their partner is. Nobody. That's the fun part. Because you can randomly sabotage anybody when they spin the wheel, land on you, and you get to sabotage somebody. Now, at the end of when it's all over, they spin the wheel and pair people up. And that's who
Okay,
your partner is. But
that's
you don't
how
know
it's
your
going to work.
partner until it's over. You may be sabotaging your partner the whole time.
Well, I'm pretty sure me and Serena are going to be opposing opponents, and we're going to be sabotaging each other the whole time.
And if they spin the wheel and she's your partner and you're her partner, you're sabotaging your partner, but you don't know it till it's over. Okay? Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Nobody knows who
understand.
their
I
partner is
understand.
till it's done.
What you're saying is, I believe that you have a partner in this tournament, but you don't know who it is until the very end.
Until it's over.
Wayne's World Catfishing says, I've been wanting to meet up with Danny and do some fishing. He's in
I would love
Perryville, Missouri.
it. He's where?
Perryville, Missouri.
But you ain't that far from me. You're closer than Jerry Parker. Are you about the same distance as Jerry Parker? Yeah, he's right up
And,
there by Jerry Parker where Jerry lives. He's about an hour and 45 minutes north of me, I think.
and Want to Be Outdoors Matt said, okay, I can go up and fish with you. My rivers are bad flooded. I'm assuming that he is saying that to you, Danny.
Yeah. Well, Richard can't get the boat on the water right now because there are so many trees down through there. So more likely, if you come up here and fish with us now, you're going to be sitting right here in this spot where we're at.
Well, see, Danny, that's the problem Shereen and I are going to have next weekend. We are going to put our boat out on our river. It's going to be up, but we're going to. Seems like the last several tournaments that we've done in the boat, every river that we fished has been flooded. So
Well,
we're just
right
gonna
now, the Mississippi is
we're just gonna deal
absolutely.
with it. We're gonna stay on our river. We're gonna be at 24 feet, which is, for some people, 24 feet isn't a big deal. But for our river, that's 3 times higher than normal. So because there in the Mississippi, well, what's your average depth that you and Richard fish? Was it like 50, 60 feet?
Now, the average, believe it or not, okay, the average depth of the Mississippi where we're at when it's at normal stage is about 9 or 10 feet deep, believe it or not. Now,
Really?
that being said, you could go upstream or downstream and you could find 50, 60, 70, 80-foot holes in the river. But the average depth in our area goes from 9 to 12 feet. That I'm going to give you a little bit more of a range there. 9 to 12 feet is average depth.
See, I wouldn't have
But there
expected
are
that.
deep holes.
And Matt with Wannabe said, I bank fish anyways. I was meaning bank fishing anyways, brother.
Oh,
So
absolutely. You can bank fish
he's
up there
looking forward to
anytime. You
bank
just have
fishing
to
with
find a
you
spot.
anyway.
Well, come
But no,
on.
I would have expected the Mississippi where you're at to be deeper than 8 to 12 feet.
Nope. Nope. You want deep, deep water that's consistent? You got to get down there where Creole's at in Louisiana. His water averages 80 to 100 foot deep down through there.
What's your current speed there where you're at?
Usually, ours will run generally 4 to 5 miles an hour on a fast day. 6 days in a high flood, or 6 miles an hour. Down there around Creole, it's 5 to 6 miles an hour all the time.
Well, see here, our normal water level is, I would say, 5 to 8 feet.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got the channel just, in the middle of the river where we're at, and the gauge is on that one second piling, but the channel is 20 feet south of it. So it's deeper there than the actual gauge is. But we're looking at 2 to 3 miles an hour current all the time.
Yeah. Well, it's usually about 4 to 5 here. Creole's water, it's pretty much maintains 6 mile an hour current.
So if you and Richard are out on the boat, you're looking at what, 8 to 10 ounces to hold it on bottom?
That's what he throws. Believe it or not, I generally throw about 5 to 6 because Richard, he likes to pin his baits down, especially on the boat. You know, he picks a spot, throws it out there, and that's where he wants it. Now, what I do is totally different from what a lot of those guys do. I'll get in that fast current, and I'll put a 5-ounce weight on there, which I know is going to get my bait down, but it's not going to hold it there. Okay. And so I do what I call basically bumping from the bank. I'll throw upstream with a bait and a 5-ounce weight. Now that weight's going to it's going to drag the bottom, but it's not going to hold because the current's going to push it. And I can throw upstream and let that bait drag the bottom until it goes downstream and pulls the rod tight. And then I can pull up, throw out again. That's covering. It's the same thing as dragging in a boat, basically. You see what I'm saying? If you threw rods on the boat and just drove real slow, I'm doing the same thing from the bank. I'm throwing upstream in that fast current and let that bounce along the bottom until it hits the fish in the face.
You're basically drifting.
Yeah, drifting from the bank. I'm a bank drifter.
Well, see, today I was fishing for 2 or 3 hours. Fishing in the spot that Serena fishes, I was throwing 8 ounces, and I was throwing short compared to where I normally fish. And with our river now, 8 ounces wouldn't hold.
Right.
And that's the spot where Serena normally fishes with 3 or 4 ounces.
Well, with me, the majority of the time when I'm bank fishing, like I said, if I don't want to do that bouncing technique, I've got spots I can go where I can get out of that fast current. I go up into coves that are cuts in there, and they'll have what you call eddy. You know, eddy that just goes around real slow. That slows that current down, and I can throw out there in that and get away with a little bit lighter weight.
Well, see, that's what Serena fishes in is a little back eddy. Because they're at the bank where she fishes for carp, it's it's got some under there that's causing the water to go back up against the bank. The water at the bank is flowing upriver, and that's where she does her best fishing. And I fish out in the current. I aim for the channel, and I'm using 6 to 8 ounces. She's using 3 to 4, but she outfishes me all the time.
Exactly. Because see, the spot you're describing that she fishes, those are my favorite spots to fish. That's what I look for a lot of times on the river. I'll find a cove or a cutback where it's doing that. That's where I want to be. Now, that being said, pretty much all my biggest fish that I've ever caught have come on Black Betty. Now, why is that? I'll tell you why. Because from the bank, I can take that 16-foot rod with an 8-ounce weight, and I can throw it out there into that fast water in that main current and get it to hold. So that's why I've caught my biggest fish out in the fast water in the main current. That's what Black Betty's for. But I've caught my most fish consistently in the situation that Serena fishes.
Well, see, today I was fishing 8 ounces in Serena's water, and
it's that fast now, huh?
Because, like I say, our river is up to 18 feet, where it's normally 3 to 4 in her spot. And Danny Avid said he's fishing the Kaskaskia tonight for tonight's show.
Oh, he is. Well, I'm not staying after dark, but I get home, I'll make sure I watch that.
When he be outdoors, said, Danny, I got me an 11-foot rod. I wanted to set it next to Black Betty, but you're not going to use her.
That's fine. We welcome her presence.
No, I think he means you're not going to use Black Betty. He's just going to put his 11-foot rod out next to Black Betty, but you can't use Black Betty.
Well, he's just embarrassing himself now.
That's how I took the comment. I could be wrong. Matt will come back in with a clarification. Shirley T's in chat.
Hey, Shirley. Now, I'm not going to stay here a long time after dark. What I'm going to do right now, because I'm getting a little parched, I'm going to run up the trunk and get a drink of water out of the thermos. I'm going to come back. We're going to reel everything in, put on fresh bait, and throw them out. And that'll be the last time we cast the rods out tonight. That doesn't mean we ain't going to be here for a little bit. It's just we're going to freshen up the baits before, we make our last run on it.
All right, before you go, Danny.
Yeah.
Want to be outdoors, Matt said, I was right. He wants to fish his 11-foot rod next to Black Betty, but you can't use Black Betty.
Well, that don't make no sense.
Well, he is from Arkansas.
Point taken. You're right. I'm going to get a drink of water. I'll be right back. We're going to reel all these up, put fresh bait on, throw them out, and finish out the day like that. I'll be right back.
All right, so everyone in chat, if you've got questions for Danny Stone when he returns, go ahead and get them typed in chat, and I will do my best to get them out there to him and get your questions answered. I mean, I'm not the greatest talker, but, I know how hard it is to fish and read chat at the same time. So I will do my best to get everything in chat said to Danny Stone. Now, y'all guys got to understand, Danny will give you a long answer. So I may miss some questions. Because Danny Stone will give you an answer to every one of your questions. But Danny Stone does talk a lot. So forgive me if, I don't get to your question because Danny Stone is giving you the answer you wanted. 217 Rebel Outdoors, welcome. Thanks for coming in. All right, Matt, I will make sure I get that comment. Wayne's World Catfishing, I'll make sure to ask Danny Stone what rig he's using. But, Matt, I'll save your comment until Danny Stone gets back. I don't want to read that out of context. Well, thank you, Butterflies and Sunshine. See, I know it's hard to read chat and fish at the same time. And Danny's got 6 rods out. It is hard to watch all those rods. The only person I have seen that I think does the best job of reading chat while watching their own rods is Fishin Magician 2.0. Every live I've seen him do, he has been able to read pretty much every comment in chat and not miss a bite. Look,
all right, I'm going to put up a whole new set of fresh bait. We're going to reel up, throw the fresh bait on and get them all out, and then we'll just keep going like that.
Danny, before you go, we have a question for you.
What?
Let me get back to it. What rig are you using?
I've got, basically, I use 3-way breakaway rig.
And now that question was asked by Wayne's World Catfishing.
Yep, I've used a 3-way breakaway rig with, and the hooks I'm using are Triple City Anglers hooks, triplecityangler.com. I'm using the Goober Time hooks and also the Ernie the Hog Snatcher chicken nugget or catfish nugget hooks. I do have one rod out that has an 8/0 hook on there because I'm trying to get one of these little channel cats to grab the wrong one. They keep pecking at my big rods. I got that one rod out. It's something special for them. If they get a hold of that, they're going to get a surprise.
All right, here's the comment from Matt with Wannabe Outdoors.
Okay.
He said that you said you weren't going to use Black Betty for tournaments. So I want to be able to put my White Windy next to his Black Betty.
I did not say I wasn't going to use Betty for tournaments. I said Betty might not be in the sabotage tournament. Now, If I use Black Betty in a sabotage tournament, I am painting a bullseye on my back. As simple as that. Because you and I both know, okay? If I've got Black Betty out there and you got all them people in that sabotage tournament and they spin the wheel, land on their name, and the sabotage is take away one rod, what's the one rod that everybody's going to be thinking about no matter who's in that tournament?
But taking out that rod would not be their decision. It would be your decision, correct?
No. Nope. Sabotage, buddy. If it lands on their name, okay, then they spin the wheel and pick the sabotage. Now, once it lands on the sabotage, the person whose name got picked, they get to pick which person gets that sabotage. So if it lands on let's say it lands on your name, and it spins the wheel and says take away one rod for 30 minutes, okay, and they get to pick which rod it is. Black Betty's got a big bullseye on her, buddy. And everybody in that tournament's going to want to take that rod out.
I understand that.
Yeah, and not just because they think she's going to do better. It's just because that rod is synonymous
she's
with
your
my
famous
name.
rod.
And if you're going to hurt me, you're going to go after the ones I love.
Now, Danny, Look Lady wants to know, have you seen J-Dog's new white lightning rod?
I have. It's a pretty cool rod. Well,
what kind of rod is that? I haven't seen it yet.
I don't remember what he said. But that long white rod right there, I don't know if you can see it. That is the cat buster that I got from J-Dog. That's got J-Dog's name written on it.
So that's your J-Dog rod.
That's my J-Dog rod, right? Let me get my finger right there. That's the J-Dog rod. And the J-Dog rod will be in the sabotage tournament. Simply as a show of respect or something, I guess, because Cody and J-Dog are the one that are hosting that tournament. So, man, how can I have that tournament and not have the J-Dog rod in there representing? You know what I'm saying?
Well, see,
J-Dog rod's going to be in that sabotage tournament.
My rods don't have names, and I can field 3 of the same rods because I like the Rip and Lips rods. I've got 3 or 4 that look exactly the same. You know, the difference is going to be the reel.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. I started naming my rods when I was a kid.
But I can put the same rod on each, or same reel on each rod, because I've got 3 of the Abu Garcia 6600s C4s. So all my rods can be identical. It's not going to matter.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Well, my kids
Serena, on the other hand, all her rods are named. They all have a name for a specific reason.
Yep.
And I guarantee she will have more than 3 rods in the boat.
I don't have any 2 rods that are exactly the same. None of them. I've got so many rods that come from different people, and generally, if it comes specifically from a person that they just say, "Hey, I got this rod, I want to give it to you," you know, that rod will get named something that is associated with that person that gave it to me. Now, if I win it in a giveaway, okay, sometimes I'll do that, but other times I'll just basically just figure out a name that fits that rod.
Oh, and since you've been gone, Big Slim 91s came in. Ogie 73, 217 Rebel Outdoors has joined.
Hey, 217, that's my little brother, man.
Man, while you were gone getting your drink, I told people to put their questions in chat, and I will get to them. And they may not get answered because one question might take you 20 minutes to answer because you are thorough in your answers.
I drag stuff out.
No, Danny, you don't drag them out. You're just thorough in your answers.
I leave them saying, "God, why did I ask him that?"
Well, Danny, if they didn't want to know, they wouldn't ask the question.
Well, they
And
think they want to know until they
they
find out,
know
and they didn't really
they
want to know.
know that you are going to be thorough in your answer.
Absolutely,
So they
I'll
will
make
get
stuff
all
up.
the
If I don't know the
information
truth.
that they want.
If I don't know the answer, I'll make something up. It'll be all right.
But see, they
Hey,
won't know that.
they don't know that.
Rob Fox said,
If
"What's
y'all
up,
only had
Mr.
if y'all had a
Rob
clue how many
Fox
times
said,
I've
"What's
blown
up,
smoke
Mr.
up
Danny
y'all's butt.
Stone?" But Rob Fox came in and said, "What's up, Danny?"
Hey,
Look, lady
Rob.
said, "Bait your dang hooks, Danny."
Yes, let's get some fresh bait cut up real quick.
Thank you. Look, lady, I was looking for an opportunity to get Danny out there to rebate. Thank you for that. And Danny, I do believe you can hear me. Linda Cox said, "If Danny doesn't know, he will make you think he knows." Be careful with that knife, Danny. Don't slice your thumb off.
Oh, I'm real careful.
Because everyone knows you can't cast Black Betty with one thumb.
We are going to downsize these baits a little bit.
Now, we're still using skipjack, correct? And don't worry, Danny, we can hear you. So if you hear me, go ahead and answer.
Man, this water's coming up quick.
Can you give us an estimate on what the rise has been since you've been there? Okay, folks, it looks like Danny's out of earshot. May not be able to hear me, but go ahead and get your questions in there for Danny if you have them. And again, I will do my best to read your questions and get them out there to Danny and read your comments for Danny. Well, Rob Fox, I believe right now the count is just 2 bowfin.
That'd be correct. 2 bowfins so far.
Linda Cox wants to know, Danny, are you supposed to be playing with sharp objects?
What's to know what?
If you're supposed to be playing with sharp objects.
If I'm supposed to be what?
Danny, Linda Cox wants to know, are you supposed to be playing with sharp objects?
Well, not all the time. It
Well, I
depends
guess,
on other people.
Linda, I guess that would depend on the day. Because I'm sure at work, Danny has to play with sharp objects, so he gets paid to play with them. Maybe on the weekends and when he's fishing, maybe not so much. Maybe he should steer away from most sharp objects, on his days off. But we all know Danny Stone is going to do what Danny Stone does. And today, Danny Stone is catching bowfin. So that's what Danny Stone set out to do.
Well, we caught 2 of our rods.
And Tim Molina said, a man got to do what a man got to do, right, Danny?
That's right. Boy, that's a mess.
You getting all that river salad?
Well, the current swept my rod down and got caught up in 2 other rods. Hopefully we can get that all untangled here in a minute.
Now, see, that to me, that's another drawback of fishing with too many rods.
Yep. Well, there's a real swift current coming up through here. It's going the wrong way. It's going upstream toward the dam, and whenever it blows a couple of sticks up in here and it catches one of the rods, it'll go down and it'll wrap it around the other tree.
But that's one of the main reasons I don't mind Indiana having a 3-rod limit, because get high current situation, all your lines are going to end up tangled. In a boat with Shereen and I both fishing, we got 6 rods out. If we're on the John boat, we got a little narrow space, and all of our lines are going in the same direction. So the likelihood of all them lines getting tangled up are pretty high. Mike Sampson came in. How you doing, Sampy? Avid Fisherman's in the house. Avid, you said you was going to fish the Kaskaskia tonight. Are you going to have a guest on, or is it just going to be you and Robin while you fish? Because I know Robin got her boat out the other day, and I believe she named it the Mud Puppy. Don't quote me on it, but I believe that's what she said. Oh, Tim Lynn is saying happy birthday to somebody. Whose birthday is it this week or today? Who are you saying happy birthday to, Tim Molina? And if you don't know, Avid said if people want to join in fishing, they can. So I'm guessing that's an kind of like an open mic kind of thing tonight, Avid? No, Tim Molina, it's not my birthday. I know Scott Swift had a birthday today. And I know Mike's Fishing Home did a live fishing for Scott Swift. I'm probably not going to remember everybody that was on that, but I believe Catfish Dog was there, Retired Rick, Avid was there. I think Damn River Boys was on there. And there's a couple others that I know I'm forgetting. So my apologies to them. I know I was in the live for about an hour or so to wish Scott a happy birthday. $9.22 crappy barbecue. Mud puppies are bad news. Damn salamanders on steroids. Butterflies and Sunshine said yes, that's the name. But did she actually take it out? I know she planned to. Butterflies and Sunshine, I believe she took it out on Saturday in the big time bass tournament. I know she was in that. I know she's on the boat, and I'm pretty sure it was her boat that she was on. I do believe she lost signal though. That's one of the things with live streaming from a boat. If you move, you may or may not have signal. And sometimes where you anchor in a boat, you may not have signal. But if you do, you're afraid to move from that spot just because you may not have signal when you move. Because Shereen and I have all kinds of problems live streaming from the boat. All right, Wayne's World Catfishing. Danny has a question. Is your main line 40 pound and your breakaway 30 pound? All right, Tim Melita, let us know who won. Because Tim Melita is going to be back after the game, Danny. Apparently the game's getting good. Not sure what game he's watching. Shirley T, I believe the biggest bass caught Saturday was 1 pound 4 ounces, I believe. Hot Mess Fishing Alicia won, and I think she caught 5 bass. Daniel Outdoors caught 1. I believe there was only 6 fish caught in the whole tournament.
All right, we got all 6 rods rebaited and thrown back out. Now we did something a little different this time. Those first 4 rods, or the furthest 4 rods, we threw out in the main channel. Now, right here in front of me, about 10, 15 feet off the bank, I've been seeing fish boil the water. Their tails and just roll it. So the 2 rods closest to us, they're about 15 feet out. We just basically just lobbed them right out in front of us where these fish keep boiling with their tails. Not sure what it is. Doubt if it's catfish, but it might be. More likely it's probably carp or bowfin.
All right, Danny, Wayne's World Catfishing has a question for you.
Ask
Is
away.
your main line 40 pound and your breakaway 30 pound? How do you have your breakaway rig set up?
Okay, my main line on my rods, the heaviest I run is 40-pound line, except for on Black Betty, which is 50-pound saltwater braid. But let's just speak, generally speaking, with the bait casting reels and these rods here. I don't go more than 40-pound test on my main line. It's usually 30 or 40. That's it. I won't go below 30. I don't go above 40. My leader to my hook will be either 50 or 80-pound leader. My breakaway to my sinker, believe it or not, is 15-pound test line.
Okay, so that sounds to me like it's similar to what the Europeans call a rotten bottom rig.
It's super rocky here. Man, I mean, if you drive this up, you see like the riprap on the bank? That's what the freaking bottom looks like. And you don't want to, you're going to lose rigs every time you throw out there, generally, on the main river. And it's better to lose just the sinker than it is to lose your sinker, your swivel, your hook, the whole thing. Sacrifice the sinker is the cheapest way to go. It's still not cheap, but it's cheaper.
Well, do you have you seen a rotten bottom rig, Danny? It's got a few extra components, but
Oh, really?
yeah, it's got like a little hook you put your weight on because your that's attached to your main line swivel, because the line that you've got your sinker on is so much lighter, to where if you cast out, your sinker is probably going to snap off unless it's held by something. And I don't know if you have seen a rotten bottom rig, but if not, I believe I can find your email somewhere and I'll send you a photo of it.
Okay.
Now, you said on Black Betty, you use 50-pound saltwater braid.
Yep.
Now, is there a difference in saltwater braid versus freshwater braid? Because I didn't know there was a difference.
Well, I had a guy named Brant Peacher explain it to me one time. And if you think I get it to long, drawn out answers, then you'd have to sit down with Brant. Because he told me all the analytics and the diagnostics of it, about how the specified braid is to hold up the salt water, the punishment that salt water puts on line. It's much rougher on line than freshwater is. But supposedly, according to him, because I got this line that I got on Black Betty, came from Brant Peacher. He's big time down in Florida. If you look up Angler Up with Brant, okay, that's the guy I'm talking about.
Can
But he gave
somebody
me a
that's a
huge
mod
spool of it.
put that link in chat for Danny?
Yeah, it's
Angler up
Angler Up with Brant. Okay.
Angler Up with Brant. Can somebody
Yeah,
find that and post that in chat for Danny?
I think he's got like 200,000 subscribers now or something like that. I don't know, but not the last time, but the time before that, I went to Florida. We did a meetup with him in Pensacola, and he gave me a huge spool of saltwater, 50-pound saltwater braid. He gave me a Pin Fierce 2 4,000 reel, and crap, I don't know, a bunch of other junk.
So what you're saying is there is a difference between saltwater braid and freshwater braid.
According to him, I can't explain it. I don't understand. He said something about the formula that when they design it, that it's more resistant to the salt water, the abuse of the salt water.
Because
I
we all
know
know
I've used it. I've used regular braid in salt water and hooked up on sharks, and I'm bad about not changing braid out. I mean, I'll trim it up a little bit every now and then when it gets a little frayed or a little scuffed, but I'll use the same braid.
Salt water
If it's
is
on there, I'll
more
use it over and over.
abrasive. Salt water is more abrasive on equipment as far as
It is.
motors, reels, everything else. So,
Well,
it
every
makes
time,
sense
yeah,
that there's a braid formulated for salt water.
exactly, and that's what he gave me. And I put it on Black Betty, and I use it for everything because I figure if it'll hold up salt water, this fresh water ain't gonna hurt it at all.
All
You
right,
know?
217 Rebel Outdoors said, ask Danny if he's fishing Jody's tournament Friday the 31st.
Yes, I am.
And Small Water Charters came in and said, hello, Danny.
Hey,
And
Small Water John, how you doing, buddy?
Small Water said, we use Power Pro braid 30 and 40 pound. The sun is the hardest thing on braid.
That's true. You know what? I remember him saying something about that too.
And he said, if they write it on the package, it must be true.
There you go.
It's just like if you see it on the internet, it's real.
Exactly.
Because, we see on the internet that Danny Stone's a great fisherman. So it must be true.
Got to be true. Hey, I've got a medal to prove it.
Just give me a little hard
let's see.
time
Hold
there,
on
Danny.
now. I'm trying
Just
to think
give
how
me
many
a hard
medals I
time,
got.
Danny.
I've got
You
three.
are
Do what?
you are a talented fisherman. You do catch a lot.
Man, I get really lucky.
I just had to give you a hard time. Because
No,
Shereen
a
and
lot
I,
of mine is just, dude, it took me 40 something years to be able to show you guys something in the past too. You know what I'm saying?
right place, right time.
It took me 40 years of screwing up to get on YouTube and act like I know something for the last 2 years.
Well, see, Shereen and I figured out that last year I caught 5 fish all year.
Really?
Well, it was 2022. I had back surgery in November of 2021. And, back surgery cost me about $50,000. I went ahead and listened to my neurosurgeon. And I didn't really do a whole lot.
Yeah.
Because, I hate to think I wasted his money.
No doubt. I started off this year. I mean, it's messed up right now with the water's trying to pull the same crap it pulled last year, where it went from spectacular to flooded to drought and then back to flooded. But we keep records of what we catch. And last year, on this day last year, I was up to a total of 238 pounds of fish caught on this date last year.
And that was one fish,
As of
right?
today, and I'm talking about catfish only, that counts channel cat, blue cat, and flatheads. Today, I checked it, and I'm at 438 pounds, nearly what's double what I caught this time last year.
Really?
Yep. So we're off to a really good start. Richard Cluck, I think, has broke the 500 mark already. Jerry Parker, I'm pretty sure he's broke the 500-pound mark already. Creole is running around 360. But see, here's the thing: Creole has only fished half as much as we have this year, and he's caught almost as much weight as we have, and he's
All right.
fished spent half as much time on the water.
All right, you need to be quiet now, Danny.
Wow, what do you got?
Well, see, I haven't caught a fish all year, so you need to be
Oh,
quiet and stop talking.
well, you
And,
ain't over yet, brother. You're gonna get in there.
and 217 Rebel Outdoors says, I believe he's fishing the same tournament as you are on the 31st.
I'm looking forward to that, dude.
And
No, hey,
Small Water Charter says the actual difference in our saltwater Minn Kota and the freshwater, besides color decals, is a washer behind prop that is supposed to work like a corrosion preventer, like on an outboard.
you know, that's giving me flashback. I think there was one time last year that I was doing Jody's tournament, and I think 217 was in there, and I think he won that tournament, dinking us to death.
Okay, and 922 Crappie Barbecue's got me beat on back surgery. He said he spent $182,563 on 2 titanium rods, 14 inches long, 6 anchors, and 5 bolts.
Well, I've turned down 2 back surgeries. I haven't done it yet, and I'm probably not gonna.
Okay, 922. I had a ruptured disc, and well, I ain't afraid to admit it. I cried like a baby for 2 weeks before I made it to the hospital and decided, well, I need to go to the doctor.
I just right now I've turned down surgery, but I just get shots in my back every 3 to 6 months.
Small Water Charter said he worked in a Yamaha shop for years, and those are the facts. So the only difference in a saltwater and freshwater trolling motor is just one little gasket.
I know saltwater is a lot more work to fish. For the simple fact is, after you're done fishing, you've got to clean everything. You've got to wash the rods, the reels, the lines. You got to wash the boat. You got to flush out all that salt water. You got to get that salt water off your equipment. It will literally eat it up.
Man, Small Water said that, kidney stones make him cry and lay on the floor.
Yeah. I
But
think, praise
I
God.
was
I
cleaning
had
out a
kidney stones.
garage, and I picked up a toolbox. I felt a pop, but I ignored it for 2 weeks, and then I laid in bed for 2 weeks, and I got to say it, I ain't afraid to admit it. I cried for 2 weeks before I decided, Serena, take me to the hospital. And we've got
every now and then I'll get down in my lower back to where I can't stand up straight, and the pain's shooting down the back of both my legs all the way to my knees, and I cannot walk. I have to hold onto a wall or something and go along it, and that's when Stacia would run me up to the VA hospital. They'll come out to the car with a wheelchair. They'll wheel me in there. They lay me on the table. They shoot my back full of cortisone, steroids, and painkillers, and I walk out of that hospital like a new man every time.
Rob Fox said, Danny, you're a smart man. Don't let them do back surgery because you have one, you will have more.
Exactly. My mother-in-law's had 5, and she's no better off.
Well, I've got degenerative disc disease between L5 and S1. I've also got arthritis there. I haven't had any surgery for that, but my ruptured disc.
That's the thing I got. I've got
no
degenerative bone disease in my lower spine.
But my ruptured disc, I didn't have a choice.
Yeah, that's the one I'm dreading. It's coming.
And that's why I didn't fish a lot last year, because I don't want to experience that pain ever again. Small Water also said, we're seeing, believe it or not, on the trolling motors is car washes. They aren't hard pressure safe. And Bugman 22 came in.
Hey,
he said,
buddy.
I've never seen anyone come out better from back surgery. Well, Bugman, I'm here to tell you, my back surgery was a relief, and I am better after that. Because the ruptured disc is not where I've got the problem to begin with, because I've had that problem with my lower back since I was 23. So I've had that for
Well,
20 years. I've learned to deal with that pain.
what they're wanting to do on mine is what is it? Spinal block or some kind of blocks or something in there. When they go in there and burn the nerves or something like that, they said they can't fix it. All they can do is just
Manage the
cauterize
pain.
the nerves where you can't feel it anymore.
Yeah, all they can do is manage the pain. They can't fix it.
Right. But they want to go in there and cauterize all the nerve stuff so you won't be able to feel nothing.
Because when I first went to a chiropractor for my back pain, he took the x-ray and looked at it and showed it to me and said, "How are you working?" He's like, "Well, I got bills to pay."
Yep. I know guys
Yeah,
I know guys that's got half as much stuff wrong with them as I do that are drawing disability. But man, I've worked all my life, and and I'm not dogging out the guys that can't work. I mean, I understand. There's been a lot of days that I get up in the morning. I do physical therapy. I have to get up early every morning. I do 30 minutes of physical therapy every morning before I get ready to go to work. And there's days I wake up that I ask myself, why are you doing this? But man, I just don't know. I'm not gonna be able to quit until I have to quit. You know what I mean?
922 Crappie Barbecue said, "Warning, the nerves do grow back."
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
But as far as me, the reason I work with my back pain, because there's mornings I get up and it's hard to walk. I walk into
Yeah,
work after driving for 30, 20 minutes. I walk into work. There's times I have to stop and take a break just to walk into work.
exactly.
But the
But
reason I
generally, if
work,
I can get
the reason
mine
I
is
work
worst in the
is
morning.
my Social Security payment for what I would get is half of a paycheck.
Yeah, that's a big factor right there. I can't live off a disability.
Neither
I've
can
got
I.
myself way too deep in debt for that. But
Oh,
with me, I
it's
hurt
not
the
so
worst
much.
first thing
It's
in the
not
morning
so much
because
just
I've laid in
debt,
bed and
man.
not moved, and everything stiffens up in my back. But after I get up and move around and start breaking it loose and getting the blood flowing and stuff, generally I can work through it and it kind of, the muscles relax and I can get going. But man, first thing in the morning, oh my God, it's just so bad. And arthritis in my shoulders, when I lay on the shoulder and sleep on it, you wake up, you just want to cut that arm off.
Bugman22 said his mom's getting a pain pump put in, and they work very well.
I want one of those.
922 said, "We are a dying breed. I work every day."
Yep.
Rob Fox said, "Because they don't want to work, Danny. 7% of it's mental and..."
Here's the thing.
and do tours put in their head.
A
Maybe I
lot of people
misread that.
a lot of people over the last few years, they kind of got ruined. And I'm not 100% blaming them for it. It's just the way things worked out. With the that was going around and nobody could go to work and people got a taste of it. If you're off work for a long extended period of time, it's general human nature. You're really not excited about that going back.
Well, see, during that time, I was off work for 7 weeks while my plant was shut down.
I was never off during the say pandemic or whatever you want to call it. I was never off work, not once.
I was off for 7 weeks. I got to tell you, it killed me. As much as I like my house, I'm paying for my house so I don't ever have to leave. But, you know, I have a routine.
Well,
I have someplace I have to go 5 days a week.
Well,
That's
I've
my
had guys
routine.
have this conversation with me, because there's been times that we've been off. They give us the day off from work, but you got the option of working if you want. And I would always go in and work on those days. Like we had a snow day come up. The roads were so bad they didn't want nobody driving. They said, "Look, if you don't feel safe coming to work, do not come in tomorrow." I said, "I'll be here. Don't worry about that." I got 4-wheel drive and a bad attitude.
Let's see,
But
where I work, we have the opportunity to get what they call 3 options. If Toyota isn't running production, I can come in and work. I can take PTO, or I can take pay a non-paid day off.
yeah,
I normally take that non-paid day off because I know, all right, we didn't build today. Somebody's not getting their minivan, but we're going to make that up in overtime.
yeah,
But we haven't been doing that lately, so it's hurting my paycheck.
right.
But I go to work every day because that's my routine. You know what I mean? I've got someplace I have to go 5 days a week so I can pay for my house, so I can pay for the electric bill. If I was on disability, I couldn't pay all
You'll
just
lose it.
my, yeah, I wouldn't be able to pay just my household bills.
Yep.
That has nothing to do with anything else.
If I had to go on disability right now, I'd lose half of what I own. Because I don't own it yet.
Rugman was saying he was climbing telephone poles 6 weeks out of an ACL. Had to the disability pay would not cover bills. When I was off for my back surgery, my short-term disability pay from work was 65% of my pay. And that was 65% of my 40 hours. And by the time they took taxes out, that's half a paycheck.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, if I didn't have any savings, that would have screwed me.
So see, like the job I'm working now, we work 9-hour days, Monday through Friday. And a half of your last day on Friday, or 5 hours on Friday, is overtime. Now, that overtime really makes a difference in your check.
Yes,
if you miss any hours through the week, okay, it's not just straight time hours you're losing. You're losing them overtime hours on Friday. And that freaking hurts, buddy.
And here's a fact from Butterflies and Sunshine. If you were on disability, you couldn't afford to fish.
Yeah, that ain't going to work for me.
But see, my overtime is anything over 8 hours a day. I don't have to work, 5 days to get 40 hours.
No, we have to get our 40 in, and then it's overtime.
If I work 8.5 hours on Monday, I got a half hour overtime.
Oh man, that'd be nice. But some guys told me, because I'm bad about, I'll go into work even when I don't have to, and I start talking about retirement all the time. And I said I'm really looking forward to retirement. I'm actually going to retire at 62. I'm not waiting to 65. I'm going to go ahead and retire at 62. And they goes, "You ain't gonna know what to do when you retire." I said, "Yes, I will. I'll go fishing."
And Danny, I know why you go into work on days you don't have to.
Because I'm looking forward to the day that I don't have to.
Because that's your routine.
Yeah. But they told me, they said, you come into work every day, even when you don't have to. And we was talking about winning the lottery. He said, you wouldn't know what to do if you win the lottery. Dude, if I won the lottery, trust me, I'll find stuff to do. And it won't be working.
I'll be traveling. You win the lottery, you have a brand new truck, you have a big catfishing boat.
I got a brand new truck.
Well, you'll have a brand newer one.
Well, there's pretty new. I bought it straight off the lot with about 6 miles on it. But
and you win the lottery, you'll have a brand newer one.
Yeah. Well,
and you'll have a big boat, and you'll be able to go fish with all these people that you know in the catfish community.
You're segueing me into what I was going to say. Thank you.
Oh, because I knew what you was going to say.
My dream to win the lottery. People say, "Oh, I'm going to build this big house. I'm going to do this. I'm going to buy a fancy car." That's not my dream. My dream is to be able to buy a really freaking nice boat, hook it on the back of the truck, and just travel and just like say, "Hey, this week we're going to go down and see Tom and them down there on the dock," or or we're going to pop down there and see old Big Skip down in Alabama, or go see John Small Water Charters down there in Florida. We're heading that way. And all I'm going to be doing is running from one person to the other, just aggravating the crap out of them.
Wayne's World Catfishing said, they said I had degenerative disc disease in my 20s. I'm now 52. I'm right there with you, Wayne.
Yeah.
That's when they told me. That's what I have now, and I'm 52.
Mine didn't hit me really bad till I was about 40. Once I hit 40, man, it went downhill quick. Man, I had perfect 20/20 vision. Now I can't see nothing. I had perfect hearing. I can't hear nothing.
What was that? I couldn't hear you.
Back's tore up.
Well, when I was 30, I went to the optometrist, and he said, by the time you're 40, you're going to have glasses. I went to the optometrist at 40. I got bifocals.
But see, growing up, even right my pre-40 years, man, you would have never convinced me I'd ever need glasses because, man, I could count the eyelashes on a squirrel 100 yards away. My vision was so perfect. But, man, I just woke up one morning and got to look at it. I said, everything kind of blurry, just a little bit blurry. And it got to where I couldn't hardly read nothing. And I went and they said, you need glasses. I'm like, crap.
Greg Burry said, hello, Danny. Doctor said my lower back is like a Christmas tree, full of arthritis, nothing they can do.
That's it. All they do now is give me shots for the pain. But
See,
can you imagine if they put me on a pain pump?
I don't even get shots from my lower back. I just deal with it.
Oh, I want to show y'all something. Let me unhook you from the stand here and hope I don't drop my phone in the river. Look at this. You see that current ripping right there? That water has come up a foot since we've been here. See that boiling water? That's actually flowing upstream. It's going the wrong way. The current's going the wrong way. The river is rising so fast that it is flowing up into this creek channel and causing a reverse current.
Now, this probably is a little inappropriate for this stream, but 922 Crappy Barbecue said, they told me if you keep playing with that, you will go blind, so I quit when I needed glasses.
There you go. Well, I need to go back to the eye doctor myself. I need a stronger pair.
That may be a little inappropriate for this stream, but that growing up, they always said you'll go blind.
If that's true, every man walking in the world have glasses on.
I think 80% of them do. I don't get shots for my degenerative disc disease and arthritis. I pop a couple of aspirin every morning, and that's pretty much all I do.
Yeah.
But, it's just one of those things you got to man up and deal with.
Yeah, after you, it's like I tell everybody. I said, over time, pain has become my friend. And he goes, how you figure? I said, because when I wake up every morning, it hurts like crap. I know I ain't dead.
And the bad thing is, Danny, you get used to it.
You do. It's always there. It's like, I've got tinnitus in my ears. I got constant ringing. Because when I was service, I had a grenade go off about 30 yards from me. When it blew up, I had blood pouring out of both ears. They thought I was going to be deaf. And that's the reason I've got such a major hearing loss. Okay, it's because I had my eardrums ruptured by a grenade. But that ringing is so loud, it just drives you crazy. But it's only there if I think about it. Like right now, I can hear it. But before we had this conversation, it was still there. I wasn't thinking about it. I've learned to ignore it.
Well, do you know how cicadas sound in the summertime?
That's what I'm hearing right now.
That's what I hear all the time.
Exactly. But you know what? You don't.
It's not.
Like you learn to tune it out. Your brain tunes it out until you put that thought in your head, and then you can't get it out of there. Like right now, my ears are ringing like crazy, and I'm like, why'd you even bring up that subject?
It's not all the time, but when I'm laying in bed and the TV's quiet or off, all of a sudden I hear that cicada sound, and it's
I
just
can't, dude.
it's
I
louder
run
than
a
crap.
fan. I run a fan year round. I don't care if I've got the heat blasting, and I'll cover up with blankets and have a fan running just so the sound of that motor is like a lullaby. It puts me to sleep.
Well, see, that's why I sleep with the TV on.
Well,
Serena,
I used to sleep with the TV on, but it keeps my wife up. So I can run the fan. She throws a blanket over her head, covers up, and she don't hear it.
well, see, Serena hates it because the TV keeps her awake.
My wife's the same way. She don't want that TV on. But I can't sleep unless I got some kind of racket. And we compromised. I got the fan going, and the hum of that motor, that fan, is perfect for that situation.
Yeah, Serena doesn't like the fan on either.
What time is it? 6:33. Excuse me. We'll probably go. It's 6:33 my time. We'll probably be getting out of here close to 7 o'clock. I don't know. We'll see. Unless the fish start biting, then God knows what's going to happen.
Because Serena doesn't like the TV on. She likes the bedroom to be like 100 degrees while she's under.
No, I can't stand hot.
You know, she's got a big old blanket on her too, and she wants the bedroom to be like 90 to 100 degrees. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I gotta have noise. It's too dang hot in here.
I can't sleep in hot.
So we compromise, and you know, I got the TV on a timer to turn off, and well, it's 90 degrees in the bedroom.
See, if you're cold, you can throw on more blankets to get warm. But if you're hot, there ain't a whole lot you can do to get cooled off a lot of times.
No, you can only take off so much.
That's it. You can lay on top of the bed buck naked with a fan blowing on you. If you're still sweating, you're still hot.
Well, see, I could be laying there on the bed buck naked with a fan on me, and she's still cold.
I figured that'd heat her up just right there.
No, apparently not, because she's still got that blanket and quilt on her. I'm laying there sweating my butt off. I'm sweating my butt off, and she's over there freezing.
Yeah, I can't stand to be hot when I'm sleeping.
And now that we've been talking about it, Danny, I'm hearing them dang cicadas.
Yeah, they've been ever since we brought it up. Them things woke up.
And the bad thing is that makes you have to turn up the TV.
Yep.
Which that makes my wife mad too, because I have to have the TV loud so I can hear it over the noise in my head.
Number one argument in our house. Turn that down. My God, are you deaf? And I'm like, woman, you've been with me for 13 years. You know I'm deaf.
Well, see,
Every time her phone rings, she grabs it and runs to the back of the house and shuts the bedroom door. Because you can't talk in there. He's got the TV up too loud.
We've got surround sound, and the speakers are aiming upstairs toward the bedroom. So, you know, I'm sitting over in a chair in the corner, and all that sound is going up, is being channeled upstairs. She's closing the door. She's got the TV on up there, and she's still yelling, "Turn that down."
Yep. Well, see, the biggest problem we have around my house, and it's not her fault. It's not. It's not her fault for my disability. But when my wife's talking to me, I have to be looking at her, and she has to be facing toward me for me to clearly hear what she's saying. If she's talking to me and turns away, oh, I get so mad. I'm like, Stacia, I can't hear you when you turn around. Your voice is projected away from me. I can't freaking hear you. And she'll turn around. Why are you yelling at me? I'm just trying to tell you something. I said, well, you got to turn around. You can't face away from me and talk. You know that. And we argue about that. We don't fight. I love my wife, and she's everything in my world. But
yeah, I have that same problem,
buddy. I tell you what, it'll get us to yelling at each other.
I have that same problem. Serena will be washing dishes with the water running. I'm in the living room watching TV.
You tell them I can't hear you, and then here's the thing. A lot of times they get upset because they're trying to communicate with you, and all you're doing is saying, "I can't hear you," and that just
Right.
gets on their nerves, and then it gets on your nerves because you can't hear them.
Right.
And
But Serena will be washing dishes with the water running. I'm watching TV. She'll say something, and I'll hit pause or mute and say, "What'd you say?" And then she'll get mad because she has to repeat herself.
same thing in my
Don
house, man. You're living my world.
Don Johnson said, "Hey, Danny, I got to laugh at these people that don't want to work and collect disability. I'm 71 and still work every day. I've had 2 knee replacements, back surgery, and shoulder surgery this past October."
God, man, I know people that I can't think of a reason in the world they couldn't get some kind of job. That they do more stuff goofing off. They work harder goofing off than I do working. But then they can't work because they're disabled. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not dissing disabled people because I mean I could technically be one if I wanted to.
And
People are hurt,
gotta
and
say-
sometimes you can't do what you used to be able to do.
we got to say
I mean,
hello
let's
to
be honest. There's
Guerrero
people out there
Bagger.
that take advantage of it.
Got to say hello to Guerrero. I think his last name is Baggery, but I'm not sure. So Guerrero,
Guerrero
hello.
Bagre. You got to roll your R's, buddy.
Well, see, that's what I'm thinking, but I'm not Spanish. My R is just kind of flattened out.
I don't even know if he's Spanish, man. I just started doing that. Maybe Italian. I don't know.
And Bugman said, "Don, yours and our generations were the last like that. I'm 59. Butterflies and Sunshine said, "Don Johnson, work ethics have completely changed." And Butterflies, you are completely right. They have.
I was watching somebody's live today. We're talking about pronouncing names, and I'm not picking on the guy because I can't remember whose live I was watching. And they were talking, and he said, he said, I watched the channel the other day. He said, I really like this guy. It's Lance Makugay or Makagay.
Makugai.
That's what he called him. He said
Makugai.
Lance Makagay. And I started thinking, who the hell is Lance Makagay? And it dawned on me, that's Lance Makugay.
Well, that's why Serena calls him Lance, my cool guy.
Yeah, but this guy was pronouncing Makagay. He said, Lance Makagay. You guys know Lance Makagay? I'm like, no. And man, I got down the road and I go, oh, he's talking about Lance Makugay. I'm going to start calling him Makagay just to piss him off.
Man 22 said after his knees went to the point he couldn't climb anymore, he tried supervision, tried being a supervisory position. Lasted 2 months, came home every day mad because nobody wanted to work but wanted to get paid.
That's it. You know what? After my last job, I told him I'll never take a supervisor position again. I said, I'm going to finish my job out. I'll be working in the field. I got just a few more years to go before I retire. I said, don't even look at me at no promotions or stuff. And I said, you give me raises. I said, but I am not going to be responsible for anybody else for the rest of my life except for me and my wife. That's it.
Ogie 73 said, if I don't work, I start going nuts. I agree with that statement, Ogie.
Yeah, if I had enough money, I wouldn't worry about it. Like I said, if I won the lottery, people say, oh, you go crazy. You wouldn't be at work. I'm like, no, I wouldn't. Trust me, I'd be doing a lot of stuff.
Oh, I can fish. I don't have to work.
That's it.
I don't have to have a job to fish. I just need a job to fish.
I could not work, not work and stay at home. Now, that would drive me crazy. If I was just stuck at the house watching TV and that's my life for the rest of my life, no, sir. Oh, hold on. Ooh, that was a big
it looks like we had a bite there, Danny.
Man, did y'all see that?
Had the bite? Which rod had the bite? We've seen it. Yeah, I seen it.
Took that thing down. Crap. I looked up and that rod was going bam.
Dave Charles wants to know what's the biggest catfish you've caught this year, Danny?
The biggest one this year is 43 pounds. Is my biggest one this year. My PB is 70. I got that last year. But biggest one, me and Richard were on the boat one day. I got a short video of it out. Well, you call it short. I took a 4-hour live stream and turned it into an hour and 21 minutes of solid nothing but hooking up fish. We had 2 triple ups that day. And I got a short video. It's called on my channel. It's called 2 triple ups. You watch that. That is an hour and 21 minutes long. Okay, but there's
And
very
out of
little
those 2
space in
triple
between
ups, they
fish.
caught 1 fish.
And every time I look back at Rod's bouncing.
And Greg Burris said, "Hello, Danny. Welcome to my world. Wait till you get 70."
I'm hauling your tail, buddy. I don't plan on living to 70, to be honest with you. My wife said there's no way I'll make it that long.
922
That's why
said,
I'm retired at 62. Because I'll
922
probably be
Crockett
dead by the time I'm
Barbecue
65.
said,
I got to get some money back.
922 said, Don, you're rare, buddy. You're working even when you put your time in. But
Yeah.
no, that's not really rare anymore. A guy I worked with, he was driving a fork truck at a Toyota plant till he was 70. I don't know why, but he put 20 years in there. He was retired from somewhere else before he started there.
Oh, what time is it? I got 6:44. We're gonna give it about 16 more minutes. If it hits 7 o'clock my time and we ain't got a fish on the bank, I'm gonna go home and get some supper and turn the TV on.
And here's a comment from Tim Molina. I met him at CatCon this year, and this is pretty much summarizes everything. Tim said, "I can't afford to be on disability. Plain and simple."
You can't. That's the thing. If you're the type of person that hasn't really worked that much your whole life and you get put on disability, it's not that big of a change for you. But somebody who has actually worked their butt off and went out and got stuff on credit and paid for it, or just bought stuff that you wouldn't be able to afford unless you were working. You take that person and throw them on disability, and it is just torture to them. It is.
Bugman 22 said, "I could fish every day, different places if somebody wants to drive. I'd fish anywhere. I'm too lazy to do it."
See, that's the one thing, he said one word in there that caught my attention. I got thinking
Lazy.
about that. That's the one thing that would probably just kill my dream. My dream is just to travel everywhere and fish with everybody. But with my back, I can only ride in the car for so many hours, a couple at a time, maybe. And then I've got to get out and stand up or stretch or something. I got to do that for like 30, 40 minutes to an hour. I can't ride extended periods of time. Even when we go to Florida every year and we pull the camper down there with my truck, we don't go straight to Florida. I did that one time and I spent 2 days laying in bed with my back hurt so bad I couldn't get to stand up.
Here's something else Bugman said. Lots of old factory workers here would retire and die in a few years. They didn't know anything but the factory.
Oh, there's Freddie's Outdoor Adventure said, "Is that Thomas talking?" Well, you know it is. Ain't nobody sounds like Thomas. He's got that unique Thomas tone. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you guys must hear something I don't, because I hear my voice on a recording and I'm like, I can't really sound like that.
What is it? I'm trying to think. You got one of them voices that's extremely recognizable, like like a James Earl Jones or
Oh, Danny, I could only hope to sound like
Morgan
James Earl
Freeman.
Jones.
One of my favorite people in the world to just listen to him talk. If you ever listen to him, Morgan Freeman, okay, has the perfect voice for talking. Absolutely does. I mean, and if you've ever done any research on Morgan Freeman to find what he's about, stuff, man, he's a really cool guy. I mean,
I love Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman
He's a great actor.
He's got a big heart. He does a lot for charities and stuff.
You know Morgan Freeman, if I'm correct, I believe he didn't get into acting till he's like 50.
Right. But if you had to vote an Academy Award or something like that for the best voice, okay, it'd have to be Morgan Freeman. Hands down, no doubt about it. Morgan Freeman every time.
No, I mean, for my phone, I'd love it because I don't remember what I've got for mine, but Siri, I would love for Serena's phone for Siri to sound like Morgan Freeman.
Dude, that's a heck of an idea. I want my voicemail answering. Will the answer be Morgan Freeman telling people, "Piss off, he ain't here."
Or I mean, even James Earl Jones, the voice of
Yeah.
Darth Vader.
Yep.
I'd love for her phone to answer that way. But she's got the voice of Siri. I really don't know who Siri is, but it's not an iconic voice. But
No.
Morgan Freeman, James Earl Jones, they've got that recognizable voice.
Absolutely. And I'm going to stick with my number one pick, Morgan Freeman. James Earl Jones would be a close second for me.
Oh no, it's Morgan Freeman all the way.
All the way.
He's got that iconic voice. You hear it, you know exactly who it is.
And what's that other guy's name? Dude, what's in your wallet?
I knew that was going to come up. I knew that was going to come up. Samuel L. Jackson.
No, not Samuel L. Jackson. It's a different one.
No.
I can't remember his name.
Oh, no. Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah.
No, it is. It is Samuel L. Jackson.
Well, it can be if you want it to be.
No, it is.
Well, I'm about dehydrated. I got a whole cooler full of water 50 yards away, but I'm too lazy to go get it. Plus, we're going to go 11 more minutes. If we don't get a fish, we're going to head home. We did catch 2 bowfin for y'all today, though. 2 glorious, amazing, sensational bowfin. One of them with half his tail bit off.
Dang it, Danny. Now you're going to make me look up that dang commercial. It's either Samuel L. Jackson or Lawrence Fishburne.
No, this guy here, there was a TV show that used to come on. It was called Now and Again. Now and Again. And he was the professor or whatever in that show. Look up the TV show Now and Again.
Oh, Danny. Second rod.
That one?
No, second rod.
Well, there's there's 2 second ones. Depends on which side you're coming from.
The one next to the Muddy River rod.
Okay, that's the purple uckaloo. That's Rodney.
All right, Rodney was getting a bite.
Rodney is about 15 feet off the bank. That's what I was saying. The fish have been boiling and rolling water with their tails. I don't know what it is there. I'm thinking it's some big old giant bowfin.
But Rodney was getting a bite. I seen him go down a couple of times.
Yeah. He's right off the bank, so he's not even in the current. He's in slack water.
Tim Molinas and Freddie both said it was Samuel L. Jackson.
No,
I'm thinking they're talking about the Capital One commercial.
Yeah, but there was another guy that did it before him. If you look up the TV show Now and Again.
Danny.
Huh?
I'm not that old, Danny.
God. It was where they took the guy. Okay, John Goodman started out the show. He fell off of a walkway in front of a train and got killed. Well, they took his brain out and put it in the body of this synthesized human person. Okay? It was a show called Now and Again. And he wasn't allowed by the government to contact his wife or anything. It was his brain inside this body. But he wouldn't have no contact with his wife or family, any people they knew from the past. But it's man, I like that movie, TV show. It's pretty cool.
Danny, I'm only 52. I don't know that show. That was before my time.
52. Dude, I'm only 5 years older than you.
So it's still before my time.
What's not? You just had other things on your mind. You didn't take the time to watch that TV show.
Fish in the Mid-South said Dennis Haybert did the Allstate commercials.
That's him. That's it right there. That's the one I was looking for.
Guerrero said Dennis Haybert as well.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Okay,
That guy's got a good voice too.
Yeah, I've seen. If it's the guy I'm thinking of, I've seen him in several movies.
Oh yeah, it is. That's who I'm talking about. I couldn't remember his name.
It's just the movie you're talking about is before my time.
It wasn't a movie; it's a TV show. It came on every week.
Oh, it's still before my time.
Yeah, whatever. It was on while you were alive.
It may have been, but
it was.
You are 5 years older than me, so it could be.
Yeah,
before
but
my
that
time.
show didn't come on when I was 5 years old. I was probably in my I don't know, late 20s.
See, if you were 5 years old, I wasn't alive yet.
That's one of the things I've been aggravated about all my life until now, because it'd make me too old to make me older. But you know what I hate? Being alive in the 70s and not being old enough to really participate. You know what I'm saying?
To have enjoyed the 70s.
The 70s was it, buddy.
Oh, I have a lot of great memories from the 70s.
I do too, but I was too young to do anything.
Hillbilly Moonshiner said, "What's in your wallet?" Now, see, Danny, if you would have said, "What's in your wallet?" I would have known. Yep. I would have been able to picture the guy you were talking about. I wouldn't have known his name, but.
Oh, man, Catfishing with Cause coming here. Hey, Brenda, what's up, sister? Now, I sure have missed you.
Girl, I don't know that I sound like Bob Ross. You know, I can't put a happy little tree over here.
Bob Ross puts my ass asleep.
I can't put a happy little rock over here in this slow flowing river.
You can tell when it's getting close time for me to go home. Start throwing a few words in there that don't go. Gotta go home and eat, get rehydrated.
Rob Fox wants to know if anyone in the chat knows the date and location of the gathering. I would love to have the info. So I'm guessing.
Is it the 14th, 15th, 16th?
I'm guessing he's talking about Darrow's gathering in Tennessee. Trophy Seekers Outdoors.
I don't know. It shouldn't be that hard to find out, but I think it's the 14th, 15th, and 16th.
Catfishing with Cause said go to Trophy Seeker Outdoors and there's video on the information.
There you go.
Catfishing with Cause, if you are a mod, could you post that link, please? And Freddie's Outdoor Adventure said, yes, Thomas, is Bob Ross for sure. Come on, Thomas. You know you could make a happy trees.
Oh, my God. I just listened real close. He's right.
Yeah, I don't know how to paint a happy little tree.
Oh, my God. That's so freaking weird.
I mean, granted, I would love to be able to know how to paint a happy little tree there next to that flowing little river. You know, it's got that happy little rock. You know,
Freddie, why did you do that? I'm never going to be able to listen to him again without hearing Bob Ross now. That's all I'm going to hear from now on.
Because, you know,
I knew that your voice sounded, I mean, that's an iconic voice. It sounded familiar, and I couldn't place it. And then freaking Freddie comes in here.
Like Guerrero said.
Bob Ross. Hey, Bob Ross.
Like
and now Guerrero I got it.
Guerrero said, no accidents, only happy mistakes.
Ooh, come on, Purple Rod. Come on.
Oh, he's getting a bite again.
Look at him go. Look at him go.
Back here past that 6th rod, Danny.
Whoa,
there needs to be a happy little rock.
I don't even care anymore. Oh, man. Got caught up in my chair. Come on,
now, Nina. I don't know if you can hear me, Danny, but Nina's kayak crew said if Norm McDonald and Bob Ross had a baby, it would be Thomas. Want to be outdoors, said, put a happy fishing pole here with a happy little fish jumping out of the pretty little lake.
Man, I don't know how that fish didn't hook up. He was hammering it.
Okay, now Donald Long said, Dennis Haber played in Now and Again. Is that the show you're talking about?
Yes, absolutely. That is it. You, sir, ding, 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 are 100% correct.
Donald Long, you have the correct answer. What do you win from Danny Stone?
Not a dang thing. Hey, I do want to say, as of yesterday, the River Rats have done 40 shows in a row and caught fish. 40 episodes in a row. If we can
Yeah.
make it to number 50, if we can go 50 episodes, we got something really cool we're going to do for y'all.
Catfishing with a Cause put in Trophy Seeker Outdoors link for the gathering.
There you go. Guys, we got the sun's getting down. It's fixing to get dark where I can't see to get out of here. We got about 2 more minutes, and I'm going to bag it. I hate to. We got 65 people in here. Any other time, I'll fire up the generator and get the lights going. But it's still that time of year that when the sun goes down, the temperature drops about 10, 15 degrees.
You know,
I
Danny,
didn't bring no jacket. I'm wearing my short sleeve Uncle Lou shirt.
You know, Danny, when I started reading chat for you, you only had like 40. So it must be the Bob Ross voice that got everybody else.
Yep.
Must
That's
be
what
that
it is.
Bob Ross voice.
I'll be starting to hit you up on Messenger. Hey, go live 30 minutes. Get your voice ready.
Fishing the Mid-South said, wait, so our chances of winning something is based on your fishing skills.
Yeah, sucks, don't it?
Real-time catfishing is in. John Parker. Nice boating video.
Well, we're fixing to peel out of here. We got about a minute left, guys, and I'm gonna call it a day. I ain't lying. I've been running pretty hard today, and I'm pretty tired. I got up at 3:00 yesterday morning, and drove all the way to Kentucky. Spent all day climbing up and down them rocks and running back and forth from Kentucky Dam to Barkley Dam. Then drove all the way back home. Then had to spend half the night putting up skipjack. Then got up today, come out, fished all day today. I'm pretty tired now. Think I'll go home.
And then his kayak crew said, it's the voice, Thomas.
It is. The Bob Ross of YouTube. The Bob Ross of the catfish community.
Well, I tell you what,
That's
Danny.
a done deal now, man. We're pushing that.
Tell you what, Danny. I've got one of your holographic stickers. Yep. What do you say? I give that away for the first person that can tell us your PB flathead.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, so I don't have. So I win. Nobody. You don't even know, so I don't have to give it away.
My biggest flathead.
But cat, don't say it.
Well, I'm not going to give you a number. I'm not going to give you a number. But my biggest flathead was the very first video I ever posted on YouTube. And that was four and a half years ago.
But in 2022, you gave me and Sharina one of your holographic stickers.
Yep, sure did.
Let me go make sure I can find it. Make sure I have it, I can find it. And if someone can tell us what your PB flathead was, I'll send it to them.
Nobody can tell me.
Well, then I don't have to mail anything.
Right. Nobody knows. That's what I'm telling you. I caught that fish 4.5 years ago, and I didn't have a scale with me. I just held it up and said he weighs whatever y'all think he weighs. But that's my biggest flathead right there. What the crap? Oh, somebody just ran over something and blew a tire right here in the parking lot. That ain't good. Did he leave? He's probably going to try to find that sticker. Well, what we got going on here? He's looking at his tire. Coming this way. He on church clothes. He just got out of church because he's wearing nice clothes.
And yes, Danny, I did go look for that sticker.
Why are you trying to give away the sticker I gave to you?
Because I like your channel. I like to support your channel. You're
Well,
one of
I
the
like
few.
to keep the sticker I gave you.
You're one of the few people that I will read chat for.
So I appreciate it. You do a good job of it.
Well, I appreciate that, Danny. 'Cause I know
How
it's
you doing?
difficult to read chat and fish at the same time, but apparently I've got that sticker put up to where it's not in one of our giveaway piles.
Yeah, I need to get some more made. I think I've only got about 6 of those left. Yeah. Oh, they've been doing that. I've caught 2 bowfin today. No catfish.
All right. Well, I can't find it.
Bowfin. Yeah, we're fixing to pack it up and go home.
All right.
They
Well,
came
hold
up
on.
a lot.
I've got another idea, Danny.
Do what?
I've got another idea. Hold on.
You got another idea? Oh Lord, he's just stalling because I was supposed to quit 4 minutes ago. Don't think you're gonna trick me to stand out here all night. It's not gonna happen. "59 people still in here, and I want to go home." They're still watching me. I'm fixing to shut it down and head to the house. Do what? Yeah. Yeah, I was just checking the water. I'd been at Kentucky all day yesterday, Kentucky Dam catching bait, and coming back from Kentucky, I whipped in here to see what it looked like, and see if I want to come out today or not. But yeah, I caught 2 big bowfin here today already. But oh yeah, me too. Yeah. It's just whenever I'm doing a live show like this, you go back there, uh, you keep losing signal and stuff, and it don't work for me. So I have to stick up here close to this spot.
Okay, Danny, that idea is not going to work either.
Okay, sounds good. I'm gonna wrap it up and head home. All right.
Well, I was going to go with a river rat sticker, for one of you guys, and the only one I could find were Fishing in Freedom, and I'd like those stickers too much to give them away.
Well, just hold that thought, because like I said, we got something coming up in the future, and I probably already got that took care of. So just hold on to your stickers and don't worry about it.
Oh,
I
now
I got something
Wayne's
special going on.
now Wayne's World Catfishing is saying I sound like the guy that sings Big John.
Big John. Big Bad John.
Big John. Big Bad John. And Shirley T says you guys need to make river rat stickers. Looks like that might be in the works. I can see that look on Danny's face.
Like I said, come up with something else, because that might have already been took care of. Just don't know. I may have already done something about that.
Well, Danny, by the
I'll
look
find out on the episode in the future.
by the look on your
It's
face,
coming soon to
I'm going to
telephone near
assume
you.
that there are. I'm going to assume by the look on your face that there are river rat stickers in the making. If
Ain't
not,
nobody got no river rat sticker.
they do not.
There ain't a
But I'm
single
gonna,
person out there that's got a river rat sticker.
but by that look on your face, I am going to assume that there are river rat stickers. They just haven't been announced yet.
I'm gonna plead the fifth on that.
And I'll probably drink one, but
I'm gonna plead the fifth.
and like every court hearing we've ever seen, if you plead the fifth, well, we know the answer is yes.
Not necessarily. I just might be just tricking y'all. You never know. I might be just getting y'all pumped up. Oh my God!
That's
You know
right.
what?
Fishing and cooking with Mike Chavez. Never assume. Never
Yep,
assume.
never assume. I may have something sneaky up my sleeve, and y'all just don't know.
Shirley T said, "Oh boy, can't wait to get one."
You'll see.
Butterflies and sunshine said, "Hint, hint." Catfishing with Cause wants to know is Sampy in here.
Woo!
Super Smurf Eric Fishing said, "River rats." Never heard of her.
Never heard of. Well, you will.
Catfishing with Cause said, "Pump, pump, pump it up."
That's it. All right, y'all.
So
Seriously.
Danny, if that second rod gets a fish, are you going to stay longer?
No, I'm fixing to leave right now.
So
I'm getting ready to tell you guys bye because I've had enough for one day. I want to go home and see my wife. I ain't seen her in 2 days.
So even if you catch a fish by that happy little rock, by that happy little tree,
I'm out of here. that fish don't match up to seeing my wonderful wife and hanging out with her. I got to be at bed. I'm supposed to be at bed by 9 o'clock tonight. That means I got 2 hours to get home, get dressed, or get cleaned up, and get ready for bed. And it don't leave me much time to spend with her.
Rob Fox wants to know if you're going to the gathering in Tennessee.
I wanted to. My work schedule is absolutely not going to let me make it, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Man, I would love to make it to the gathering. It's only about a 5-hour trip for me, about the same as it does to go to Louisville to CatCon. And I want to go, but if I went down there, I'd want to pull my camper and get a campsite and everything. And there wouldn't be no way I could get off work in time to get all that took care of. And so maybe next year.
Super Smurf Eric Fishing said, Danny's got to get some rest. He's got to be on KP show in the morning.
That's it. First thing in the morning. When I wake up and drive to work, I'm on the KP show on Mondays and Tuesdays, I think, and then Hog Legs on Thursday and Friday. I ride into work watching them guys, and I'll hop up on panel every Monday through Thursday.
Well, I don't always chat, but I had to work at 5 a.m., so that's 6 a.m. their time. But I'm listening for my drive to work. About the time you get on, Danny, is about the time I get to the parking lot at work, and then about 20 minutes later, I'm heading into work. Palmetto Cats came in. Hello, Kevin.
Hey, Kevin, I'm just fixing to get out of here.
Wayne's World.
Let me go, man.
Wayne's World Catfishing wants to know if it's not stickers, is it hats?
I think that's stuff floating down the river, catching them rods. Well, I think it is. And that's even more reason I want to get out of here.
Oh,
the best place to fish, honestly, see where that slack water is right there? Right there. Because there's no current there. It's just sitting there. Right here, you got fast current coming in. You got fast current going out. If you get right there, that's the best spot. That being said, there's a huge log pile right at the bottom of that. You're going to lose every hook you got.
But Kevin said he just ended his day. So are we going to have...
I got to get home.
So if it's not stickers, Danny, is there going to be River Rats hats?
Well, that ain't up to me. There's somebody else working on that.
Oh, so somebody is working on a River Rats hat.
I didn't say that. I said it won't be me.
You said there was somebody else working on it.
I said there'd be somebody else working on that, not me.
No, you
You
said
ain't
there
tricking me
is.
with your lawyer
You
talk,
said there
buddy.
is somebody else working on it. See,
You try to trick me with your lawyer talk, coming in there like Bob Ross, attorney at law.
now wording is everything, Danny. You didn't say that would be somebody else. You said there is somebody else working on that.
Well, I retract that statement. I said that would be somebody else.
No, you might have meant to say that would be, but you said there is.
You know, there's such a thing called entrapment, right?
Right.
Yeah, I see what you're doing.
And
You ain't, you ain't that slick.
you know you fell into that trap, right?
You're slick, but you ain't that slick.
But you fell into that trap.
I
See
don't
that?
know. We got a meeting Wednesday night. We'll figure out who's doing what.
You see that happy little tree over there?
That happy little tree. I like it when that happy little eagle's sitting over in that happy little tree because I always have good luck when that eagle's there. But I showed up there and he flew off.
Like Kevin said, subliminal messaging, a Freudian slip.
That's it. That's it. Either way, it ain't gonna matter. We got 10 more episodes to go with no skunk, or none of it makes any difference anyway. I don't care if we give away River Rats action figures.
Your boy Troy came in. How you doing, Troy? Wait, I don't know how much Kevin knows about Freud, but Kevin is an educator, so I'm sure he's taking philosophy and psychology and all that. So he should know a little bit about Freud.
I went to college for 2 years, believe it or not. And one of the courses I had to take was psychology. And all they managed to do is figure out I was nuts.
Oh, I took psychology in college too. It was, to me, it was
It was a
fun.
required course because at the time I was trying to become believe it or not, I wanted to be a cotton picking game warden or a conservation officer. That was my dream at the time. And man, you got to take algebra. You have to take police and community relations. You have to take a couple of law courses. You got to take and one of them was a psychology course you have to take. And man, I went 2 years of college and my dumb butt really didn't research uh, into the job position that I was looking for because I wanted to be somewhere around here. Not local, because they won't usually do that. They won't sign a game warden to be where he lives at. The problem with that is that he knows too many people there and he may cut them breaks. So they'll usually assign you away from where you live. Okay. But anyways, I found the areas that I wanted to work and I contacted them, told them, I'm going to college and taking these courses and wanted to kind of fill you out for what the job field looks like. And they said, dude, we got a 15-year waiting period to become a conservation agent or a game warden in this area. Because most guys that get that job, they don't leave until they retire. They don't it's not a revolving door job here. They said when they get in it, they stay in it till they retire. And when I found out it's going to be 15 years, man, I dropped out of college and said, forget all this. I wasted 2 years of my life.
But Danny, I went to college. I've got a associate's degree in diesel technology.
I ain't got no degree in nothing.
Psychology was an elective for me, and my professor at the beginning of the class said, if we have any technology students in here, they're probably not going to do well.
Well, psychology was a required course for the job field that I was looking at.
For me, it was an elective. So when my instructor told me that, made that statement at the beginning of the class, that kind of pissed me off.
Yeah.
When I walked out of her class at the end of the semester, and she gave me my final grade of an A, and I said, "Not bad for a technology student, huh?" But see, Kevin does know Freud.
You're not gonna do it anymore. I'm done.
Kevin said Freud discovered that we sometimes make verbal errors which reveal our subconscious thoughts.
Oh, you don't want me to do that.
But Freud was also addicted to a certain white powdery substance.
Y'all don't want in here, I promise you.
Oh, I think
You
that
do
would
not
be
want in here.
that would be interesting to me, Danny. I would
No.
love to get inside that thought process of Danny Stone.
You'd come out screaming, "Oh, the horror!
Hey,
It's a madhouse!"
there.
Hey, Thomas, thank you coming up reading chat for me, brother. Seriously, I've got to get out of here and get home. I loved you guys hanging out with me today. Sorry that we just caught two big old greasy, nasty looking bowfin for you, but we got to go out, fish today, spend a little time with each other, have a few laughs, and say hi to some friends. Okay, so I'm gonna count that as a plus. Absolute always is in my life when I go live, and you guys are in here hanging out with me. Oh, it means so much to me. It brightens
But
my day. It
but
makes me
Danny,
feel so good. And you're
if
not gonna
you
cut
would
me off because I'm gonna get rid of
if
this.
you would allow me to go in there and root around a little bit, there could be a really good Bob Ross movie coming out of it.
There you go. We're gonna do it. Cool Cats, what's up, buddy? Thank you. All right, you guys. You're my brothers, you're my sisters, you're my catfish family. I love each and every one of you. God bless you. Thank you for hanging out with me. Be looking for us this weekend on the next episode of the Mississippi River Rats. We could be real excited to see you in there. We'll see you then. Good night, everybody.
And look
Bye,
for
y'all.
that happy little tree.
Happy little tree.